I just hope that Zach stops coming out.
Yeah, I don't need Zach. He doesn't do nothing for me on multiple levels.
I don't need that competition.
Exactly. We don't need the competition.
Mm.
He doesn't do. He's just Cloud again.
I don't care how wonderful your boyfriend was. I don't want to see him.
An ex-boyfriend.
I don't
all right.
care
He's gonna stay
if
ex-boyfriend.
He's paying child support, but I don't need to see him. Like,
he takes the kids. He picks them on Sunday, and then he gets the out of the house.
hello, welcome to Taco Otaku episode 36.
36?
Today I'm the host. I don't know if you remember my voice, but I'm Frank. And with me is Ray.
That's
and only
me.
Ray. Everyone else is absent.
Just you and me again, Frank.
Nobody gets a gold star today except you and me.
That's it, Frank. We got the full credit when it comes to attendance. Everyone else, it's not looking good on that category. Looking bad.
How dare they?
It's just slackers, Frank. Slackers. We have you on this podcast.
I know. Don't we pay them enough?
Apparently not. Apparently we said Final Fantasy VII remake, and they Rebirth, because we did remake. That's the first one, and they ran away when we said Rebirth. But you and me, Frank, we stuck it out. The real JRPG fans are here, Frank. That's what matters.
To be fair, I don't think anybody wants to give birth twice.
That's true.
To the same
It's
kid.
not, well, okay, to the same, yeah, maybe we don't need to do, yeah, that's true. At least we want to, spice it up, change it up a little bit.
Nah, put her back in there.
Yeah, no, we'll do it again. Let's go that's a bad Groundhog's Day, and I think about it. That's a bad Groundhog's Day.
All right, so today we'll talk a bit about our days, and then for the main topic, the final review.
Spoilercast.
Final review of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and we'll hear what you and I think about it.
Indeed, Frank. And I have some thoughts as my usual self, perhaps, let's say. Teaser to come.
It's been a while since I finished this game, so
I was going to say, okay, we'll get to it when we get to it, but that's going to be like my first question. When was the last time you've seen this game, let alone the ending of this game?
I mean, I see it often.
Okay.
The ending, I only seen it once. But I'm.
You're always thinking about it.
No, well, my brother's always playing it in the living room.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like always watching.
Taking a peek. What he's at.
Yeah. So there we go. Why don't you start with your week?
Week. All right, Frank. Let's see. Well, it's been technically 2 weeks, so you can say week.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen you in a long time.
That's true. You're still alive, Frank. You're still here. Oh wow.
Yeah, I was out the country, but I'm back.
Back after they let you back in here.
I don't know how, but they did.
They messed up. Man, I keep telling them, don't let them back in here. Yeah.
Although it would have been nice to stay.
Might have stayed a little bit longer. That's true, Frank.
Expensive.
That's true.
Nice.
Well, that is also true as well, Frank. So for my week, that isn't Final Fantasy VII Rebirth involved, which quite a lot of the last few weeks has indeed been that. But the two highlights that I'll mention. I'll start off with more recently one where I also traveled. I didn't leave the great state of California. I stayed within our great state's border and traveled all the way up north to San Jose, California. For there, they had their 30th anniversary of Fanime, which is it kind of implied what it is. It's a bunch of anime nerds come together and hang out and take photos and cosplay and do panels and then shop until your hearts drop and keep buying more figures and amiibos and video games we don't need, but we got to catch them all. So that's what we do at Fanime in San Jose.
Is that where you bought the Final Fantasy hard copy?
No, but it was part of the trip, if that makes sense. I'll get to that, I guess, a little bit, since we had a little LED tour as well. We traveled to North Cal. We have to represent a little SoCal as well. So
you went with your brother?
Indeed. Me and Miles, we traveled all the way up, 6 hours to San Jose from our little cozy nook of Los Angeles. And I've never actually been to San Jose, so that was the first time. Been to San Francisco a handful of times and a couple other places around Sacramento-ish area and this and that. But first time really hanging out in the heart of San Jose, where the convention center is there in the downtown area. And it's I guess your typical anime con. I haven't been to a ton in my life. It is not as the massive undertaking that is Anime Expo, which for those who've attended, it is its own. There's anime cons and there's Anime Expo. It's a very different beast in my opinion, and it's been sometimes it's been Expo, but we have been to other local cons in the area. But I always heard about Fanime is like one of the best anime cons to go to, especially if you live in California. You gotta go. And in my old age, I decided, oh, let's take my old hips and bones out there and check out what's going on. And I had a pretty good time. I won't lie. It was fun. It was a bit of a trek. It's been a minute since we've traveled that far. We tend to stay once again in our SoCal local area, San Diego often, Las Vegas a few times, which also we talked about on the podcast. So yeah, it was kind of interesting to see what's going on there and the layout of San Jose downtown area, and they have the different like metro stations to get up into to different areas of the town if you want to. They have a little like I guess their own little little Tokyo equivalent over there. I think it's called Japantown if I'm remembering correctly. So that was kind of I only got a chance to only hang out there a little bit. I ended up spending a lot of time at the con and doing a couple other things outside the con. Sadly, I didn't get a chance to really hang out there. But, the con itself was a good time. It was nice and organized. They had more options coming in and out of the convention hall. In my experience, sometimes they can be very strict and very high security, which I can appreciate. But sometimes it can be a pain coming in and out of the building, especially if I want to go here to go check out this panel, or I want to go over here to go check out this exhibit, or they're doing something at the other hotel to showing like my debut of an anime. Across the street they were playing the Spy Family movie, and if you had a ticket or you had a badge for the con, you actually get a discount for the theater ticket for the Spy Family movie. Sadly, didn't get to go, but it's a pretty big event. I had a lot of people coming in and out. A lot of cosplay people out there. A lot of the number one cosplay was from what? What do you think, Frank? I'm going to ask you. What do you think? More recently popular anime, what do you think people were more dressed as from the show? What anime do you think was popular?
Frieren?
Bingo, man's got it. Man knows the heart of the anime. That's why an anime podcast, Frank. That's why we have you here on here.
Wow, jeez. I thought it was for other reasons.
I mean, it's a bonus. It's a bonus. Everything else comes as a bonus, Frank. But yes, indeed, surprisingly, there was more Starks than there was our main protagonist.
Well,
best boy, let's say.
He's cool.
He's did the trick, but I was a little surprised. Like, oh, more axes, less elf ears, let's say. But still good amount. But I'm trying to think what else is anything crazy. There were some kids dressed like with a bunch of Splatoon, so they look like a bunch of squids and their ink guns and big old costumes. Once again, that seems uncomfortable. Well, it's a very good game for one. And two, the cosplay I thought was pretty neat. And they had a group, so it's always hoping you get a bunch of friends to help, let's all cosplay. You be this, I'll be this, and, got to represent all the different characters from said anime or whatever video game, perhaps.
When you go to these things, do you talk to people or when I go, I don't talk to nobody, even though that's the goal. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna meet, people that like stuff I like.
Right. It can be.
And then I get close and, no, they look like they don't want to talk.
It depends. It depends. Each person's a little bit different. Some people, for me, when I go, I kind of go as for myself is, I just want to kind of see what's happening, what's hot, what's popular. Like I go to the artist alley, see what people are drawing, what's people walking around cosplaying as, go to the vendors booth, see what's selling. So for me, it's just trying to take in the anime industry and what's happening at the moment. And every so often there's a conversation, especially if we're waiting in line and they look like they're kind of bored or easy to talk to. Then yeah, I'll strike up a little conversation, but they're just little conversations here and there. And oh, have a great con, you too. All right, bye. But nothing, no long ever, no anime best friends happening just yet. For me, being North Cal, it would have been tough because I'd be like, oh, you're I like you, and it's just like, oh, I'll never see you again. You're dead to me. Bye. Back to LA with me. So I guess that's the downside. I guess if it was more of a local con, I feel like I'd be a little bit more, social and aggressive, trying to push that. But half the time for me, it's like my own little vacation.
Aggressive? Like what? Talk to me.
Tell me, what's your favorite anime? I don't know.
You're taking too long.
You're too long. Wrong. Shut up, kid.
You must not like it.
Get out of here. Fake anime fan. Get out. Just strip them of their badge and throw them out of the convention myself. Off they go. Never again. No more anime for you,
Sounds
kid.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's what I picture when you go.
That's the last, but that's usually the last day, and they're gonna kick them out anyway. So I'm just helping them out. Get a shortcut. Get a shortcut out of that vendor.
Very kind of you.
I know. I try to be considerate, especially with the younger kids need to learn, and sometimes, Frank, they have to learn the hard way. So I'm really their sensei when you think about it. When you really think about it, Frank.
You really are the epitome of go hard or go home.
Exactly. I'm just their. Do you know what GTO is, Frank?
The anime?
Yes.
Great teacher Ozum.
Onizuka.
There you go.
Indeed. I'm their teacher. Frank.
Ah.
I'm there to teach them, and I have this weird method of teaching them, but they learn a life lesson through me, Frank. That's what I like to when I go to all these anime cuts.
I've been wanting to finish that one.
It's a cute little show. It's oh man, the openings are so good. Bet one of the best openings, both 1 and 2. If you need to check out an old actually, it started in 90 and it ended in 2000. It was in that little weird gap. But yes, 90/early 2000s anime. GTL, very good. But yes, Fanime, a very good time. They have a swap meet there, and it's a pretty big swap meet. So if you're looking for a couple deals, they have a lot of, everyone walking with their old anime, manga, some cosplay, your Gundam sets, which I forgot I did buy one, Frank. I forgot to show you my Gundam. I'll show you it after the pod. I did buy my first Gundam. I got to build it. So
congratulations.
Thank you. It's daunting, but I'm diving in, Frank. I'm doing it. I'm going in all in, and you can watch me curse out loud on my Twitch channel of me breaking these little plastic pieces to break my Gundam.
Wait, you're gonna build it on Twitch?
Maybe, Frank. Maybe. It's one of the things I kind of want to do, but trying to do it is trickier. Maybe what I'll probably do is build one off camera, so I have a little practice under my belt. And then when we remodel the set, perhaps I might build one live on stream. That way, hopefully, it'll be a better room, and I'll have a little bit more confidence to display my newbiness, let's say, when it comes to Gundam building. But what else? Did a couple panels, bought some artwork from the artists, a lot of 90s anime stuff because I'm just an old man and I'm stuck in the 90s still. So that was pretty cool to see. The tricky part is to try to bring the artwork all the way back without breaking it or bending it or, giving creases or that. It looks like they survived the trip back down to LA. And yeah, just overall pretty good time. The only one thing that was a bit of a downer was when we stayed there, we didn't have... So in their convention center there in San Jose, they have a Hilton and a Marriott that's actually connected to the convention center. So you can literally just, go down the elevator, take your cosplay with you or whatever you want. If you're selling artists or vendor stuff, take it down from your hotel room, walk in the convention center, and boom, you're there at the con. Sadly, though, I guess we booked kind of late, but didn't seem that late, but apparently too late. And so we ended up staying at a hotel that was still part of the convention, but it was part of the free shuttle service they had between the convention center and the hotel we were staying at. And it was probably at least a good 15-20 minute drive. To be fair, though, the shuttles themselves kept coming pretty quickly, so it wasn't a huge wait. But that time it makes you, especially if you just want to, I want a break, go back to my room and relax for a little bit, and go back to another panel or go check out this or that later on. A lot of night activities, which sadly we kind of missed because that was at yet another hotel that was part of a shuttle service which is kind of we didn't fully understand because as I said, we're learning this whole new convention, and apparently every time it's a whole new set of rules you gotta learn. But yeah, it was a busy happening convention center, but not crazy like Anime Expo. So it was nice to be able to walk around and still not be so claustrophobic, because I know a lot of, or maybe not, no, it can be a problem for anime fans, since anime fans tend to be very introverted and don't like being surrounded by a lot of people and this and that. But this place had a good floor layout and a good movement to come in and out. And so in case you needed a breather, you could easily get a breather. And it wasn't, once again, the madness of Anime Expo. For those who've ever attended Anime Expo, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, overall, very good experience. And maybe we might go back to it next year. We'll see what happens. I think the key there is, once again, is you want to stay at that Hilton Marriott. That's part of the convention center. So that way you could really be always in the heart of the action, pretty much. And we don't miss a single panel or event during the con. It was a 4-day con.
Wow.
We did come back. And speaking of which, on our way back from Fanime, we did stop on the outskirts of LA. I guess let's say Burbank, Ventura-ish area, the North LA, I guess. And we did visit a couple retro video game shops. And there, Frank, is where I picked up my hard copy of Final Fantasy Uno for the NES. And it's a nice clean cartridge.
How much was it?
I paid $30 for it.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not too bad. My understanding is it roughly goes for about $25-ish. So for $5 more for a nice clean copy, And that's right, because I've been slowly kind of hunting down a couple handful of games I'm still missing in my collection, that being one of them. And I keep finding it, but it's always like either boxed and they want like a ton of money, and like I don't care. When it comes to NES, I don't care about like boxes and manuals. I just want the cartridge. I'm good to go with that. And so I was able to find that guy on the way back, so I was happy about that. And I picked up a copy of the Star Wars, the game Rogue Squadron for the GameCube back in the day. I originally had a copy, but I think I sold it, question mark or something. The handful of times I ever sold a few games in my life. So I had to buy another copy since me and Miles been watching a lot of Star Wars. I'm like, ooh, you know what's a good Star Wars game? Rogue Squadron on the GameCube. So I picked that up along with Final Fantasy 1, and I was kind of happy about those. And I'm slowly trying to working my way through the couple retro games I'm missing in my catalog. So stay tuned for more of me doing random video game pickups along the way. So who knows? But yeah, that was our little pit stop on the way into town. And then here we are a week later, slowly trying to collect myself after a long Memorial Day weekend, let's say.
So this was last weekend?
It was last weekend. It was Friday through Monday, though usually Mondays or the last day of most cons are just like last call for vendors and then get the hell out of here. So last minute purchases, not too many deals. I was a little bit bummed about that. Usually I tend to wait toward the last day of the con to pick up some extra goodies because it's cheap for them to sell it at a slight discount to you versus lugging it back all the way home. But no deals. People don't know what a good swap meet looks like. Let me tell you that. I guess you had to been on the swap meet nights, which that was the weird thing. There was 2 days of swap meet. One was on the first day of the con, and the first day of the swap meet was on day 0, which was very weird to me because day 0 is basically if you're traveling far, maybe you checked in for the night for the hotel room and you're picking up your badges, but that's pretty much all you do on day 0. But apparently they had the swap meet on day 0, and I missed out. And I'm a little sad about that, Frank. I want the deal.
Yeah,
I like a good deal. So yes, that was Fanime 2024. Is that what I was wearing in 2024? Apparently, once again, 30-year anniversary of this event.
Wow.
So I'm glad. Well, maybe I'll be there for 31. And then the other thing my week I will share with you, Frank. I've been saving this for you, just for you, Frank, since you returned.
Thank you. I think I know what you're gonna say, and I've been looking forward to it.
I have a slight One Piece update for you, Frank.
Yes.
Me, my adventures with the Straw Hat Crew in manga form, not anime form. Though I'll talk about that also in a minute if I remember about the anime, because I remember talking to you, Frank, about me thinking about tackling anime. I don't know about that, Frank. I don't know about that. But focusing on the manga, what I read. So for those who don't know, I am now up to, I guess, the Sanji arc. What's the pirate? She's one of the 4. What do they call 4 pirate kings, or what is it? Pirate lords?
4 emperors.
Emperors, pretty close. There's some highfalutin name with was it literally Big Mama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big Mom.
Big Mom, there you go. And so we dealt with her question mark without getting into too many spoilers for everyone out there. So yes, that's where I left off. We've learned the interestingness, wackiness of that her land, I guess, and her powers and abilities. And boy, Luffy had the worst crew to go in that country, by the way, Frank. Just Nami was there, just there. Chopper was just there. It was the loot. I mean, yes, I know it's One Piece and tends to be the Luffy show 24/7, but boy, oh boy, it sure was the Luffy show this time around because am I forgetting? Did anyone else fight Frank in that little arc? Sanji, kind of, maybe.
Sanji didn't fight too much.
Not really.
They were mostly running away. I guess the one that did fight was off screen, so that kind of sucks.
Oh,
Brooke.
Yes, exactly. That was a lot of off screen that happened, by the way.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I was just like, what? Huh? Like that was just a lot of hand waviness. Like, oh yeah, here it is. Here's the One Piece. You feel like, what the fuck? How did you get the One Piece?
He stole it. He's like, what? Were you losing? What's going on?
That was very It was that was surprising in a negative way, to be honest. Of like, wow, I feel like we should have lingered on that a little bit more.
I feel like they do that a lot in Wano.
Oh, Wano, yeah, because it's coming up, I believe.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, because I haven't seen the animation part for most of the Wano part,
Mm.
so I'm hoping they just filled it in the anime. I don't know if they actually skip it like in the manga. So we'll see.
Hopefully, Frank. Hopefully. So yeah, it was okay. I guess the gear 4.5.
Snake Man.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, which was a whole who sure looked like the guy from also My Hero, by the way. He looked like the Yakuza guy with the mask.
Really?
I thought so.
Oh, the bad guy looked
Yeah, the bad guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just like, this guy looks awfully familiar. And he's covering his face too. And that makes me wonder which one happened first. I'd have to go to the playbook. I would assume One Piece, but I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say One Piece happened first because I remember going to Japan in 2017 and they already had displays of fourth gear. And so I'm thinking that part might have already happened. I don't know.
We'll see. Free correction out for those people out there. Look it up, folks. Let us know. Send us on Twitter and Instagram and all those other places we're on. YouTube, perhaps. Also YouTube. We're on everywhere. Taco Otaku. Just Google us. You'll find us. We're everywhere. Where would you least expect us? Surprise. But a pleasant surprise.
Turn around and you will see us there.
Boo. Gotcha.
All right. So that's all you did for the One Piece?
That's it for the One Piece. I haven't touched it in a few weeks since, once again, it was been the Final Fantasy moment. So that's where I left off. So yeah, like I said, overall, it's just it's okay. Like, it was fine. I guess my biggest complaint is without getting to detail or super details, I found it very fitting enough. The My Hero comparison will work. I found it very surprising that the dad was surprised by the double cross. It seemed pretty fucking obvious. And yet they're like, "What? You would cheat us?" And I'm like, well, why wouldn't they? They're fucking pirates. It's literally in their name. And just like in My Hero with the overhaul guy, what? The bad guys are bad guys? You double crossed me, huh? I was just like, boy, it's just getting some similar vibes going on here. It's pretty obvious you're dealing with bad people, and bad people their word mean nothing. But apparently they're all very Pikachu surprise face about it, which I was like, why? And then, the same old. Oda keeps doing the same thing over and over again. And I know I said this before, but like, it's really obvious, especially when it comes to like the first go. I mean, this, like, literally the situation of Sanji meeting a cute girl is like what happens on Dressrosa happens again on this island, or islands, whatever you want to call this land, where, oh, it turns out this girl I met is actually evil. Oh, but it turns out, no, she's not evil. She has a heart of gold after all. And just Sanji needed to talk to them to wake them up and not be total bitches. And I'm just like, he's kind of repeating himself a little too often and too much on the same exact things. But overall, fine. It's fine. I'm going with it. I am excited for Wano. I know Wano is the hype train. When I was doing our research for best shonen battle arcs, Wano came up often in the, I guess, listings and the tier lists. So I am curious about it. And I was thinking about switching over to the anime just for Wano, since, once again, the hype is good. And then I went to Crunchyroll, and I found the Wano arc, quotation marks. It's 208 episodes for one arc. Not a series, an arc.
You know what? Let me watch it, and I'll tell you where.
Okay.
Because I think you could just, like, start at the fights and then just go with that.
I would appreciate the assist, Frank, because that I was like, oh, so said I'm gonna do it, and then I'm like, 208. I'm like, oh man, I just nah.
All right. So is that it for your day, or you got something else you wanna?
No, I think that's it for me, Frank. Just Final Fantasy in a little bit, but we'll wait till we get there.
All right. I guess I'll go with what I've been up to lately. So, not really anime related, but I was out the country. Went to Colombia.
Oh.
It was nice. I didn't really see much of the country. But it reminds me a lot about Mexico. But bigger, because I feel like there's a lot of people there. A lot. I mostly went to malls. And man, are the malls huge over there.
I was gonna say, what's the malls like over, since the ones over here are just dead?
Imagine like one of the malls here, but 5 times bigger.
Holy bejesus, that's a hell of a mall.
Yeah, because they're usually like 3 stories.
Oh wow.
And I just remember going in circles, and I'm like, whoa, this is not ending. Yeah, they're pretty big. I was impressed by how many people are over there, and like, well,
I was gonna say, and people are still shopping at them and everything.
They're packed.
Oh, wow.
Like, so the malls are the nicest thing that I saw. I didn't really go anywhere I just mostly went to see a friend, and when my friend was not available, I just watched Netflix all day.
You know, hey, it's your vacation's a vacation.
Hey, you know what? I got to finish the Better Call Saul.
Oh, there you go.
I went through Wednesday, like I watched the whole thing.
Oh, the Addams Family, right?
Yeah, I was gonna watch the Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, the live action.
Yeah, but I just wasn't feeling it. Like I'm like,
it's something, Frank. It's something.
I just because I wanted to play Hades.
All right, you mentioned that last time, I believe.
But I mean, if I watch Yu Yu Hakusho, I couldn't play because I'm like, I gotta pay attention to this.
See if it's any good or not.
Yeah, I have to give it a fair shot. So I ended up watching The Office and playing Hades.
Oh, there you go. That can't go wrong.
So it was a nice trip. Besides that, I started Reacher.
Oh, the
Jack Reacher.
Right, Amazon one? Not Tom Cruise.
No.
Right.
Is it Aquaman? No, he looks like Aquaman from Smallville.
The only thing I know that actor from, and it's a very weird thing that no one's else seen, I don't think, or not many. He was a superhero in what was it called? Not the Teen Titans, but just called Titans live action show.
Okay.
I think that's where he's from. Maybe I'm mistaken, but when I saw that, because I did see season 1 of that show, and I'm like, I think it's the guy from the Titan show.
You know, it's funny. Lana comes out in that show.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she's the wife of one of the guys that comes out in it. And she's talking like with an accent. I'm like, what? You don't talk
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Gotta go back.
She comes on like an episode 1 or 2.
Oh, okay. I did see that a while ago.
Anyways,
how'd you like it, Frank?
I'm liking it. It's not like must watch, but I'm enjoying it. Something to watch and not really think too much. What else am I watching?
It's on Amazon, no?
Yeah, it's on
Amazon. That's what I remember. Because I remember I'm like, okay, I keep paying for Amazon. I better watch something on Amazon. And I'm like, what's new and exclusive? All right, I'll give it a shot. It's not Tom Cruise. It's probably got to be better.
It's good. I'm enjoying it a lot more than Fallout.
Oh, I forgot I tried Fallout.
You did?
I did.
Did I talk about that last time?
You talked about it, but I think your review was, I saw the first 15 minutes and then I zoned out, and then whatever I saw I didn't like.
Yeah, because I remember what I watched it started off great, like the first minute, and then it just got too silly for me. I felt like it was just catering to immature teens, like, oh, this is cool, blowing stuff up and saying dumb things.
Pretty much. So
I was just like, I wish they would have taken it a bit more serious, and I don't know, maybe I'm tripping or something.
I agree with you, Frank. How far did you get on that one?
I got up to like episode 2, 3.
Okay. Because I got to like 3, maybe 4, and I was just like, why am I watching this?
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay, so I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy, Frank. You're not crazy. And I dabbled in the Fallout games. Despite, to be technical, they're fine. I don't love them, but they're fine as a game, as a world to hang out in. But I just found the characters just trying so hard. Everyone's being an edgelord and being just like, oh, violent for violence sake, and shock factor, and haha, it's funny when you blow off a finger, or just like, oh, this guy's head blew off in pieces, haha, isn't that crazy? And I'm just like, so what? When especially when you're especially used to like shows like The Boys and other shows like that, when they're trying to do like more dark, edgy, violently stuff, it just, you get kind of numb to it. So like, what's the character's motivations in that? Oh, nothing? Well then, never mind.
Yeah, okay, so that's that. What else? I'm keeping up with Tonbo.
The golf.
Yeah, it's going okay. It's focusing more on golf than I expected. Which I don't know. I guess I'm not a golf fan, but
it's not winning you over on the golf.
Not on the golf, but on the other stuff. Whenever they talk about something personal, I like that part.
Is the son dead or alive?
I don't know yet.
Oh, I still don't know.
I don't know.
It's still a mystery.
It's still a mystery.
Oh
yeah.
My goodness gracious, Frank.
Yeah, and he left the island and like
for good?
No, just for a little bit, and didn't see his son. I'm like, so I still don't know. Like,
it's a mystery.
Is it because he didn't have enough time, or he's not alive? I don't know. We'll see. I'm enjoying it, but I'm watching more of it. Kind of made me happy that I didn't choose it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because it was between that and The Fable.
Yeah.
Coming out early, or our review I think will come out early July-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Try to remember the schedule here.
And I also slowly watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm on season 2.
Season 2? You're making your way? How far did you get, Frank? Story-wise?
You know what? Season 2, I'm like not really paying attention.
Uh-oh.
I just think because they start off with like a flashback.
Yes.
And
I forgot about the flashback
and I was
arc.
like, I really care about you guys. Like,
oh, they're so important, Frank. You love these characters.
yeah.
It's that one guy and the other guy. You know, I love them because I remember their names so well.
I think his name is Gato. I don't know.
The
bad guy. The bad guy that summons.
The bad guy and the cool guy.
The bad guy that summons demons. I guess I didn't really buy why he switched over to the bad guy. Like,
I concur, Doctor.
And then I was like, right when he was deciding if he was gonna be good or bad, one of who I think is a good girl, she was like, well, I guess it's just your decision what you want to do. Like, instead of like steering him the right way, like, hey, yeah, killing is bad. You should stay on the good side.
She was like a lazy emperor.
She was like, you want to become a serial killer?
There you go. Hey, Anakin, maybe the Jedi aren't bad. Maybe, I mean, the Sith is an option, but it's up to you, I guess. What do you want to be? You want to be a Jedi? You want to be a Sith? I'm just saying.
It's up to you. You be you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that was like, what was the point of this? Thanks, useless.
And then I keep like thinking that they're referencing characters I should know, but I'm like, do I really want to go back and check if I'm right? Because okay, I think the main bad guy from the flashback, I think it was the dad of the Sasuke character in this anime.
I love how you describe that because I call him Discount Sasuke all the time. I have no idea what his name is. His name is Discount Sasuke. And indeed, that is right. Evil Dio is indeed Discount Sasuke.
Okay.
Dad.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. This is why you're on the podcast, Frank. Oh God, Jujutsu Kaisen. I can't stand it.
And then the girl we were just talking about, I feel like, is that the lady that trained the buff guy that comes out on the season 1?
She has some connection. I don't remember, but she is associated with someone from something.
The reason I asked this was because that guy is always like the first thing he says when he meets somebody is like, what girl is your type?
Right.
And she says the same thing. So I'm wondering if that's like his teacher.
I would believe you, Frank, if you tell me, because she has some connection because she's like, she was one of the people that she used to be on the good side, but then she turned to like, not really the dark side, but like the gray side, if I remember right.
But I didn't want to look it up.
And I didn't, and that anytime I had a question, I looked to Miles because Miles read the manga. So I would ask him that and he'd be like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
And then the movie, the Zero one.
Oh, Zero.
It was okay. I kind of felt like they could have saved her, but they were just like dumb about it. Like,
wait, we're talking about the movie or the
movie? The movie
where
where they had to protect that girl.
There was a girl to protect in Zero?
Yeah, there was a girl that they were gonna protect.
Wait, Zero the movie or the prequel that was in season 2?
Oh shoot! Damn, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
I just
the prequel arc in season 2.
The prequel arc, I just felt like they could have
that whole save the princess Ashley situation.
If she was so important, why let her go to school?
Like, there's a lot of questions about that whole thing that I kept asking Miles about. He's like, I got no good answer for you. And I'm like, well then why the fuck is it like? Well then why bother doing it?
Okay, so the movie. Back to the movie.
Uh-huh.
What were they doing? I don't remember. I just know that the guy, I think his name is Utah, the guy that had like the cursed girlfriend inside him.
Oh, Discount Shinji.
There you go. He didn't die?
No, he didn't die in the movie.
I just
because he shows up. Oh well, spoiler. Sorry.
Because when they were talking about him in season 1, they made it seem like he died because they were like, oh,
yes.
Because what happened with Utah? And I'm like, wait, he didn't die. Like what the hell? Why is that?
Mystery.
And I kind of seen the spoiler that he comes out later in the manga.
Then I don't feel as bad. Whew.
So I'm like, I just have so many questions. I'm glad I'm enjoying the animation and
that is good. The animation is good.
Not thinking too much about certain things.
The less you think, the better time you'll have with that show.
Good thing I'm good at not thinking.
Got Hades, right, Frank? Bring out the Switch, play some Hades, and then put on that show.
No, I'm just watching it. I'm cruising, and I'm not really like expecting great things about it.
Smart man.
But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's just that I'm not enjoying that I have to watch flashbacks. I'm like, I'm here for the action. Come on, let's go.
Pretty much.
We'll see. I think right now I'm not watching it too much because I think we're about to get some action going, and I want to watch it on the big screen.
That's true.
Usually when I watch things, it's on like at work.
Oh, right.
At work while I'm doing something else. And
you're working very hard, Frank, as always.
Yeah. And working very hard for this podcast.
I was gonna say focusing on the important things, like the podcast.
Yeah, that's where I finished Apothecary Diaries. I don't know if I mentioned that I finished that.
I don't think so. Not on the podcast.
Yeah, I finished it. And it was good.
It was good.
It was good. It's a shame that I didn't pick it for the season. I mean, I like Fraven.
That was what you picked over it.
But I wish
you had more choices.
I wish that someone else had picked it too.
You're too greedy, Frank. You wanted all the good shows for yourself.
No, I'm giving it away right now. I wish that
the season's over, Frank. The season's gone. You have to wait till season 2 or something, or I guess a dedicated episode for the diaries.
But it's cool. Like it's like a soap opera, and I think they do a good job of setting the mood, setting the tone. So it's cool. I do recommend it if you're like into soap operas.
You like the dramas.
Yeah, it's not something like that you're gonna be like, all right, where's the fighting? Like,
I was gonna say not a lot of fighting when it comes to growing plants and medicine. I don't think. I could be mistaken, but
it does get confusing at the end. And talking to Ivan, he says it's on purpose because they want to keep a secret. But I'm like, I feel like the secret is not that big of a secret because
it's obvious.
It's just like, yeah, because the main guy, he is not who he says he is, and it's like almost obvious who he is. Like, yeah, he's the son of the emperor or something like that.
Probably.
So it's like, okay, so I'm assuming it's the son of the emperor, but if it's not, then it's something less, not surprising, but like less important. So,
right. Not as interesting, let's say.
Yeah, like, but even me guessing son of the emperor, like, or the emperor,
right? He could be the one, the chosen one.
It's still not that like surprising. Like, you don't need to hide it. Like, yes, hide it from the characters in the story, but you don't need to hide it from us. Like, come on,
let us. We know
we're paying to watch. Come on.
This Netflix agreement is not cheap. Let me tell you.
I know. So
it's on Netflix. Is it Netflix or where?
Crunchyroll.
Oh, Crunchyroll.
So I'm like, it just made the ending a bit confusing. I think I don't want to go back and watch it, but because I was talking to Ivan. He was like, yeah, because they just didn't say it. I'm like, okay, so I didn't like snooze.
Right.
So it's cool. It's just that was a bit weird how they did that. And besides that, I've been playing Tales of Arise.
All right.
And
how's that going so far?
Okay, so I remember saying very good things about it the first time.
Indeed, that's what I recall.
It took a bit of a drop off. I guess it didn't get worse. It just didn't improve. So it kind of plateaued. So I don't want to say complaints. The thing is that this game is hard and not in a fun way.
Oh.
So like this game discourages training, which is something I like to do in games. So like once you like get to the level the game wants you to be, they just give you no experience at all.
I hate when they do that.
So it's like, okay, at least give me the same amount of experience you were giving.
Right.
And I feel like very early on I learned like all the skills in the game, and now it's been most of my playing time. I would say 80% of the time that I've been playing, I haven't learned nothing new. And then a lot of stuff that I'm learning, yes, I'm getting new grids to add new skill points to. All the skills are all the same. Like every character has basically the same skills, like counter, and it gets really complicated the way they describe it. This game really wants you to learn how to do combos, and I hate doing combos. I don't want to learn.
That tends to be the Tales games from my experience.
Yeah, I'm realizing that I don't like the fighting style of Tales. It's fun when you're like, ooh, let me use this skill a bunch of times and learn a new skill. But once you're not learning nothing,
yeah, when there's nothing new to the menu, you get a little bored.
And it's like, yeah, because I just want to like do like a Kamehameha or something.
Right.
I'm not. I'm just sticking with the double demon fang. It's like think of a Kyo from King of Fighters, like.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay. So that's a bit disappointing that because I was grinding a lot early on and I learned all the skills. So the story is okay. It still looks beautiful. I still think they put a lot of attention to it. It's just maybe I'm having this problem because I'm playing in like on the hardest mode.
Oh, I see.
But still, like it's like give me something to look forward to. And the only thing I'm looking forward to is like gathering materials and getting a new weapon. And even when I do get a new weapon, I don't feel stronger. It just looks better. It says it has like 50 more attacks,
but you don't feel it.
I don't feel it.
Mm.
Either I suck or this is a hard game.
Hmm.
So it's fine. I just since that happened, I'm trying to get through it and figure out what to play next.
How many hours you put into it so far?
Oh God, I don't know. Probably close to 100.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, leave it to Frank. Leave it to Frank, our JRPG expert.
Yeah, I'm thinking of playing. What do you think I should play next?
Like out of everything and anything, Frank?
No, RPG.
I don't know. What's new? I'm trying to think. What's
preferably
Persona 3?
If it's on the PS Premium thing.
I have no idea what's on there right now, Frank.
All right. If you think of something, let me know. I'm leaning towards. I could also go back and play. I've been wanting to play like all the Final Fantasies again.
There you go. Number 1.
Thinking about that.
Got going wrong?
Yeah, just a little refresher.
Just a little refresher. 1 through 16.
I wouldn't do that. I would just do like 1 through 13.
A lot more manageable. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be silly now. Come on now.
Nothing crazy. So yeah, that's basically what I've been up to. I know I went on a while, but yeah.
Been busy. You've been absent for one episode, Frank.
I know. I'm still playing Hades also.
Still playing Hades.
I feel like you're going to play it soon. But
I am going to. The goal, fingers crossed, is by the time this episode airs, I've already started my journey through Hades on Twitch TV. So follow me at SD_Shonen. That's me, or there's a link in the description below. If you want to see me choke on Hades, which I'm guarantee I will be choking.
I think that I'm almost done with what I would consider being done with the game. But I feel like there's a lot more that I could do.
But you beat it Hades before, no?
It's because that game, you beat it and it's not really...
Oh, there's more. There's like a new game plus mode and everything.
You could say that.
Okay,
so basically, you do your runs.
Right.
And whether you beat the whole run or you die halfway,
right.
Every run is meaningful because you collect resources, get stronger.
Right.
But let's say you didn't need resources, which is very crazy if you don't.
Right.
Every run that you do, whether you beat the game or not, it tells you a little bit more of the story every time. So, for example, you run into all these Olympian gods, and every time they're telling you new things, because it's not always like, hey, it's you again here. It's like, hey, I had trouble with this person or stuff like that. Or they give you a little bit more backstory.
Ooh.
And then if you beat the game, they give you more backstory. So it depends on what you do. The people you meet, they tell you different stuff. So this whole story is told by the people you encounter and every time you talk to them. And you beat the game and you have to beat it like 8 times to get the first official ending.
Oh wow.
But then it keeps going. Like if you beat it, it keeps going like, okay, so now we're gonna do this.
There's more like narrative and story?
Yeah, there's more narrative and story.
Oh shit. They found a big pit to fall into now.
Yeah, because you have a goal. And then your first obstacle is that you can't get to the end.
Right.
Once you get there, you find out that there's a different obstacle. So you keep going and you keep going.
No.
And then once you finish that first initial obstacle,
no wonder I've been putting this off.
They because I'm trying to say this without saying
right. I appreciate that.
Once you finish that, then you're like, whoa, what if we do this now? And then you start working towards that.
Oh my god, this is 3 houses all over again.
So I feel like I already went through all the narratives of all, because it's kind of like Persona where you have social links. It tells you like, oh, this person you have 5 hearts with this person, so you should talk to this person more, and then they'll tell you more about their story. I'm not really planning on maxing out all the weapons because that would take a while. I did get all the weapons, so I'm cool with that. So I just want to get all the social links max per se, and I want to because then on the side you have some like side missions where it's like, beat the game with this weapon and I'll give you this reward. So they have like all these quests you can do. So I'm almost done with that. Unless more pop out, I think I'm gonna be there. So once I do all the side missions and I get all the social links, I would say I'm done.
Yeah, it's usually where I'm at when the social links are done and the main conflict has come to some kind of conclusion. I will try to walk away because that's a lot. Yeah.
So pretty heavy into. I would say
how much hours are we here now?
I don't know. I'm between fit. I don't know because I don't really check these things, but for sure I'm like at 50 hours, between 50 and 100 hours.
Okay.
Wow, I did not expect to talk about Hades, but there you go. So I guess that does it for our weeks, and now to move on to the main event or the main topic.
Bum bum bum.
So we left off at, I don't know where we left off.
We left at the tropical islands of coastal. What's this? Del Sol. Is such typical.
Is that where you left off?
That's where we left off on the podcast.
All right. Wow. I don't know. Should I go first? Should you go first?
I'll have you go first, Frank. I'll have you go first.
Oh.
Without getting to like, let's work our way up from there before we get to the ending. I guess.
Wow. Okay.
And also, like a spoilers alert in case we didn't mention earlier. We're gonna get to details and grittiness, so be aware of that. So without further ado, off we go.
I have no idea what I said the first times around, but I think I still feel the same about most of the game. Slight changes near the end. Okay, so I feel this game is way different than part 1, or as remake, I should say. I feel like material is almost not irrelevant, but very much not as important in part 1. Or there's just too much and it overwhelmed me.
That's true. I could definitely understand that feeling.
The game mechanics were a bit overwhelming too. I feel this game is faster.
Definitely compared to the remake.
I don't like a lot of changes that they did, but I did enjoy a lot of stuff about it. Like the music was great.
True.
I did enjoy the story until near the end. It got a bit wonky. I would have focused on different things. So let me go region to region. So you said we left off at Costa del Sol. And then after that, it was the Barret part. That part was cool up until you fought what's his name? I forgot.
The best friend?
The best friend?
Indeed.
I thought that was weird that he had like Resident Evil powers.
A little bit. That did happen.
I was like, what the heck? And I felt that the original did a better job of like setting the scene.
Yes.
Where it was like cool. And this is me not remembering.
That's the other problem I had playing this game.
But
like, how does this happen in the original?
But I do remember it was cooler. Like it was like
there was a little
They changed it, and I'm not sure it was for the better. After that, you get to the Gold Saucer. That was
my favorite character.
That was okay. It was cool, like seeing the Gold Saucer in person. It was a bit too big.
They did flesh it out more, which overall I like the idea, but maybe a little too big. But it is a little bit more fitting than literally fall into this hole.
I wish the what do you call it? I wish the maps were a little bit more easier to read.
They're not the best
because sometimes you have a mission and it's like in the middle of some place, and I'm trying to get there and I'm like, wait, it's impossible to get there. And it doesn't tell you like this approximate area, not this exact spot. And
right.
I'm like, damn it, I've been running around chasing. I don't know if that happened to you.
Oh, I can tell you it's happened to me, Frank. That map sucks. That map is not made for an open world game, or definitely not. Now that we've gone to like Legend of Zelda with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom now, which like that's the way you do a good open world map today. This map is like 10 years. This is like Assassin's Creed 2 level map where like back then, this is all we knew. But we've come a long way since then, and it's out of date, and it doesn't hold up as well in compared to modern day open world games. So they had growing pains for sure.
All right, let me see. And then after that, I believe it was the Gongaga region.
Indeed.
And I love the music in that part.
Good music.
I thought it was just I would just spend I would just walk around.
That was the tropical.
Yeah, that was the one with the kids singing.
Right.
It reminded me of the movie Congo. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
It's been a while. That is a pull, Frank. But yes, I know what you're talking about. Whew. Showing your age there, Frank. Showing your age.
Update my profile now. Let's see. That part was cool. The music was cool. The jungle was. It was so terrible to navigate that jungle.
I love you, Frank. I love every word you're saying right now.
It was just art. Like
I hated that region for that reason.
And my brother didn't do that part because we were playing together, and I did that part.
Oh, you poor bastard! You got the short end of the straw right there, my friend.
Yeah, I was just like, damn.
Should get your refund.
And then those bad guys were like not the most fun to fight because they like some of them did Toad or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
After that, Cosmo Canyon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought that part was.
It was like better, but just like the flying there. It was so that chocobo weighs a ton. Chocobo weighs a ton.
The flying minigame, I did that too. That was all me.
You brave soul.
Let's see. The actual Cosmo Canyon place was cool because they kind of did it in a way where I feel like it made sense with a bunch of people obsessed with
like religious type. Let's say.
Yeah. So it's like they did a good job of that. And
right, true.
The part I kind of didn't like is that most of the time you're in Cosmo Canyon is day. Right. And for me, Cosmo Canyon is a night city. And I think they do have a part where it's night, but I think when you go back...
Oh, right. There's like the big cutscene.
Yeah, when you go back, it's always...
daytime.
It's always daytime.
When you're controlling cloud.
I think it would be nice if you could change it to night. And
that's true.
For me, that's the Cosmo Canyon.
Right. I do want to... That was the part where my brain was thinking, like, was it implied? Was it this much different from the original? Part of me was like, man, I really should have gone back and played the original before playing this game because, like, my curiosity...
It made me want to do that, too.
Right, yeah. Because it's like... Because what I remember the most is definitely the cutscene of the planets and the guy talking like, this is how the planet works and the live stream and this and that.
Yeah.
Which does happen here. But the whole, like, religious aspects of it is like, was it really there? Or did they really emphasize it this time around? And I just didn't pay attention.
I do remember that you run into people that are, like, there
hardcore
for those things. But there's just a lot in this one.
Right. It's, yeah.
Like, in the original, it's like, maybe 4 people that are
there. There's like, I'm here. It's a cool place, and maybe I'll learn something.
It's like a very secluded place, and here is like a resort. Like,
that's the other thing. Yeah, right.
I think what's new in this game, and I could be wrong, is that what's his name? Gondagon?
The old guy?
Yeah, the old guy. Mm-hmm. He is like very against, like, because they're telling, like, Tifa's like, oh yeah, this is, what I went through. And he's like, oh, you silly girl.
Yes. Get back in the kitchen with you.
I know. It's just like, and then I guess it was kind of cool because in like near the end, he kind of like, oh, I just never thought that things would be how you said.
Right.
And it's just like, I thought you were crazy.
Right. I just didn't want to, I didn't want to understand. He walked it back, but
it was like, did he just like diss her or
something? Yeah, pretty much. She pretty much, it was like, God damn. I thought you were a nice old man. What a jerk.
It did make me laugh the part where he changes his voice, the Red 13.
Which was another thing. Did that happen in the original?
I mean, you could say it did happen. They don't actually mention it.
Right. Because I remember his personality kind of changed when he got there. Yeah. But like the implication of like the voice change, if you will, which of course the game didn't have voice back in the day, but the implication of like, did his voice, a little bubble, like, did his voice just change?
I think it's something they added and it kind of makes sense because
right
what it is, but it was just like head turning for me. Like,
yeah, it's okay. Thankfully, not just me. Okay, good.
I missed the other voice, but it was funny that happened.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know if it clicked like for you, because it didn't for me. Because I had to play it again to find out. Early on in the game, you're like at a hotel and you
with Aerith.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know it was him talking.
I just put that together today, Frank. I just put that because that scene implies like way more bigger, interesting things. It's like, no, it's just him. Yeah, it's just him talking to her. And I realized that, and I went like, oh, fuck me. Because I was thinking like all these other bigger, crazier things. But then when I finished the game, and I went like, wait, so that was just him. It was just him, wasn't it? And I thought about it, and I literally today I went back to play the cutscene. And I went, it's just fucking him. God damn it.
What else? After that, you go to Nibelheim.
Nibelheim, I think, is the next big checkpoint.
I think that
was that also all new, or am I just totally forgot how Nibelheim? Because I remember them being like pretty much abandoned. Was there people there in Nibelheim?
There was people, but not that many.
Okay.
And it wasn't like, oh, this is a place where we treat all these people. Okay. It was just they're there, but they're not there for treatment.
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking, but it's like, oh shit, I don't know.
Unless I'm wrong.
All right, no, we're both just tripping out right here.
That part I didn't really quite like that they changed it that way.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
It didn't work for me.
Like,
I get it, but
I feel like they did it just to add more content to the game.
Right, just to, basically.
That part was okay. Again, the part that I played. Guess what's the part that I played?
Going through the vents?
Yes.
Oh, you poor bastard. You got like you got the. Did you even have a straw to pick, Frank, or did he play the game in advance and know what the worst parts is? And just gave you the controller.
He was like, "Oh, Cat Sith, here."
You love Kate Sith or Kate Sad, whatever.
I had to learn how to use this guy.
Mascot character.
And then when my brother was playing that on his own the second time around, he was like, "What do I do here?" I'm like, "Oh, right, you didn't do this part." Here, go here. Oh, okay.
Go through the vents. It's fantastic. Just what I came for Final Fantasy VII, doing some venting.
I thought it was cool running into Vincent.
I have mixed feelings on the Vincent part.
I have mixed feelings fighting him.
Right, that was another thing that was like, oh, I guess.
Because I know he's not going to be that strong when he's on my team.
That's the other thing. Ain't that the truth? That one did take me a few tries. But
I don't know. I'm just very curious how they're going to deal with Vincent now. Because
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like Red 13 in Remake, kind of. Where he's there, but he's not really there.
I also not sure how I feel about Sid coming out.
That part out. That was the part that threw me the most. Like, am I just fucking high? Do I not remember anything of 7? Because like Sid is like way introduced like way early on, and all the stuff you do with Sid you don't do in this one, right?
Right. So I just feel like it would have been nice if you would have seen him,
right,
but not talk to him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because, and
it's weird.
I'm having the same thing you're having. Like, I should have played the original, and so I can
right.
compare.
You can really compare and understand the differences.
But I thought it was kind of cool how you meet Sid in the original, where
right.
Spoilers. You meet him and he's like this jerk. Like
yes, he's like yes.
But now you're gonna meet him. I don't think he's gonna be a jerk.
Not really.
He's one of the gang. Like
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's gonna be if they're going they have to almost change his character completely, or just they're gonna erase that whole backstory of his.
Or is he gonna go to the town
and just become a total jerk?
And become a jerk because no, I'm remembering my past.
Oh,
screw you guys.
It's my wife, girlfriend, whoever she is.
Don't ask me now. So I'm like,
doesn't he beat his wife? By the way, that happened, right? No. I'm pretty sure it's implied, if not just flat out shown and said.
Everybody does that.
There you go. It's normal in Final Fantasy VII. Plus, no Great Escape now.
We mean the airplane?
Yeah, the airplane.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's just... They already did that sequence. Basically, they're gonna do it again. That's gonna be stupid if they do it again.
I'm just thinking, what are they gonna do now? Like.
Rocket Town, I think that's what's called. It just disappears now.
I feel like we didn't need Vincent either. Like if you're not gonna join us, don't join us.
I'm loving everything. Lord, Frank. Once again, Frank, this is why you're here. This is why I bring you on the podcast.
It was
Frank.
funny, like all the stuff, like the scenes they had with him. It was cool. It was funny, but it's just like,
what's the point if we're not gonna do anything?
Like,
with them?
No, you know what? Just don't tease me.
Exactly. Don't tease me, motherfucker. Don't tease me. Don't tease me with a good time, and then I'll give you a good time.
What else? Let's see. So Nibelheim, that was cool, but is it me or is Hojo like more protagonist in this game?
They really, he's
everywhere.
He is. He's the worst person in the Final Fantasy VII universe. He's just behind everything, and he's just a total asshole. So that part is still true, but yeah, they keep dragging his ass into every scene, even when it's not really needed. But they're like, he shows up on the beach. And then later on, for whatever reason, the president brought him along with him for some reason. It doesn't make sense, like why he's there, but there he is.
And then he when he keeps coming out as a hologram, I'm like, come on, man.
That was like that was like I didn't need him, and plus I didn't need to go through the vents with Kate Sith or whatever his name is.
One thing I kind of appreciated was where that Cloud's boyfriend, the one with the bike.
Oh, that one. I was gonna say, you mean Zach? The other boyfriend, the one he's cheating on with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that he came out so much, but I kind of appreciated that what they ended up doing with him. Like,
right.
I would have preferred if he would just cut most of his scenes out.
Right.
But I was just like, okay, you make him into one of those
right
guys.
Right. It would have been a nice because you see him in the first game, right? And the next time you see him is that, then that would work. It's like, oh, it's the guy from the first game. What the fuck happened?
Yes, I think he came out a little too much.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
What else? The bartender would have been good enough to prove the same point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, that's also a good point.
But yeah, I guess someone was a fan of that haircut and they wanted that guy to come out. So that's pretty much most of the game. Then you go back to Gold Saucer and you have the whole date thing, and then
the date,
and then you get ready for the final part, which is the Temple of Ancients, which I think I liked better than the original, because I think in the original the Temple of Ancients was just a pain.
I trying to remember.
It's a bit confusing, for me at least, because you're in these maps and there's like everything's upside down and stuff.
Right, that's the other. Yes.
And then you're like in the clock and you have to turn the clock and like, what room is it? Damn it!
Yeah, it's not a very good indication of where you were and where you're going and where you're trying to go.
Yeah, so that was
I'm surprised I didn't get, because I have a terrible sense of direction. I thought I was gonna be lost at first, but apparently I kept getting lucky and I kept finding the.
Wait, you're talking about the new one or this one? You're talking about the old one or this one? The Temple of Ancients.
Yeah, the new one.
Okay.
Rebirth. Because was that a thing in the original? I remember the final cutscene of Temple. That's about all I remember.
The Temple of Ancients in the original one, for me personally, was confusing. And in this one, it was not as confusing.
Okay.
And I just kept thinking about, like, this is why I don't like listening to people. I try not to think about these things. But ever since you guys mentioned it, like, you and Richard mentioned that, like, I guess the guy that made this game is the Kingdom Hearts person.
Indeed he is.
It's just, like, I see it now, and I'm like...
Sorry, Frank.
I was just like...
This thing reeks of Kingdom Hearts, by the way.
The Temple of Ancients, I feel like it shouldn't have been like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, wait, why are things floating? Why are we in a... I don't know. I just feel like they should have made it more like the original.
Right.
But, it is what it is. I just kept thinking, damn Ray, damn Richard, making me think about this other game.
It doesn't help half these fuckers look like they're just Kingdom Hearts rejects.
So, that part was hard. That part, I also did a big chunk of that on my own. I forgot exactly what I would have done different for this part, but it was a bit weird the way they did that. If I were now, I'm just gonna get to the whole ending.
Okay. Well, before we get to the big ending, because I feel like that's like a whole discussion point. I gotta ask you the most important question about this game here, Frank. Get ready. The big important question. Who would you take on a date with on the Gold Saucer, Frank?
Like.
Don't disappoint.
Who did I want or who did I take?
Well, we'll take with who did you want and who did you take?
Okay, I wanted to take Aerith.
Okay.
Because Aerith is like, for me.
That's their waifu of choice here?
Numero uno, yeah.
Okay.
Although Yuffie's
a close second.
Yuffie does it for me too.
Oh no.
We took Red 13.
The best boy confirmed.
Yeah, Yeah.
There you go. He's got that dual personality. He's into role play, so
Oh man, when he bust out the Michael Jackson stuff, I was laughing.
I forgot about that on the boat.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That was pretty random, but I was like, okay, sure, why not? Fucking playing Yu-Gi-Oh, why not?
Yeah, who did you take and who did you want?
Oh, come on, Frank. This is no mystery.
You manipulated it.
Oh, I guaranteed, Frank. I made sure it was a lock-in, baby. There was no way I was taking Barrett or Red 13 or anybody else. It was Tifa or nothing, baby. And by God, oh God, I made sure it was Tifa. And sure, goddamn, it was Tifa. I made out with that goddamn carousel. Let me tell you, Frank.
You were like, open your own damn door, Aaron.
Yeah, pretty much. Bitch, I don't know you. Do I know what's your name? Do I know you?
I don't care if you're cold.
Materia, what? It's fine. I'll get another one from another Aerith. You're a dime a dozen. I get another Aerith any time of the week. There's only one Tifa, Frank. That's the important part here. It's only one Tifa. And I did make sure, because I did find out that how that works is, based on the points and this and that and the relationship charts you do. And I made sure, oh, wait, we're coming up to the Gold Saucer? All right. The side quest, you're all dead to me. Tifa, baby, what do you need? Let's go do the side quest. Let's go get it done, Tifa. Everyone else, you're all dead to me. I don't care what your side quest is, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. They're all dead to me. Because the Gold Saucer time and I'm not missing out. All right? I got interrupted the first time I was at the Gold Saucer. I wasn't going to get interrupted a second time.
Now I have a question for you.
Hit me, friend.
What outfit did you give her when you were in the beach?
Oh, we had the matching one, so it was the more revealing one.
The white one?
Yes. Yeah, the white one, yes.
Oh.
And I didn't realize that, because I think I talked about in this podcast, is I didn't realize that was going to be a thing in mechanics. And so I gave Cloud the shorts. I'm like, the short looks better than with the shirt.
It's a thing in mechanics?
Yes, because whatever outfit you pick as Cloud, you need to make sure, if you want the most points, that you pick the right girl to match your outfit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because originally I actually had the opposite, where I gave her the short shorts, and then Aerith had the bikini. But then it was said that, Aerith likes you more, and Tifa not as much. I'm like, oh, fuck no. And I fucking went backwards and fixed that shit real quick. And so she had the bikini, and Aerith had I forget what she had on as a second choice. But it made sure me and Tifa had the most points together. I gotta make that gold saucer canon, Frank. Gotta make that gold saucer moment canon. So I made sure that it happened, and bar God, I made it happen, Frank. By the way, that took a very long time to get back. Like, I feel like Gold Saucer's like in the first quarter or third of the game, and like how long did it take you to just get into in this game to finally get to that moment? There's like a handful of cutscenes that I guess, I don't know if it just forever sticks in your brain because that's what you grew up with. It's like, Sephiroth burning down the town, the going through Cosmic Canyon, understanding planetology or whatever you want to call it, and then of course the going on the Ferris wheel and the Gold Saucers, these moments that just forever, and of course, we'll get to the ending part, of course, is also the next part. But there's those little chibi, little cute PS1 graphic cutscenes that just stick with you, and to see them all PS5'd out was pretty interesting. So I'm glad I got my moment with Tifa. I worked very hard for that moment, Frank.
Oh, you know what? I think they did a good job of, and I think when Aerith's mom dies, I think they did a good job of that part. Like, I felt like, there's a lot of parts where when they changed them, I feel like they didn't do it for the better.
Right.
But this one, the change was like, I was crying. Like, that was the part probably where I cried the most in the whole game.
What's the difference?
The difference is that in the original, you just see her there laying down.
But this one, you I guess it's a little bit longer, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's basically the same.
Yeah, I mean, it has a little more dialogue.
Right. But okay, that's what because on the big moment I remember.
Yeah.
But yes, the more gameplay.
You're going around walking as little Aerith.
Right. And
it's just like, oh my God, nobody's paying attention.
Like, I'm just a little girl. Does anyone care? I'm a little girl. Help me out, bastard.
Damn, I know. I was like,
fuck you, Midgard. Bunch of assholes here in Midgard.
I've already been like, screw you guys. I'm gonna go help.
This is why they dropped the plate on you fools.
So yeah, that part was
That's
cool.
true. That's true. That was like the most whole sequence is also just minus that one. They were just like, it's a very anime. Which the funny part is usually I like those kind of tropes, but it's just I think that the problem is like I was so by that part in the game I was like gone because I just wanted to finish this fucking game. And in general, this game was like 20 hours too long for me.
This game is probably more enjoyable story-wise if you skip all the side quests.
Yes.
And thankfully, when you play New Game Plus, you can just skip all that.
Oh, there you go. Because, yeah, story-wise, that was the problem. Is like, and I think I mentioned this on our first episode of talking about Rebirth, is like right now in the middle, this is my favorite part of Final Fantasy VII. And the main plot beats are just kind of ruined by the terrible pacing in this game, with you doing like silly fetch quests with Kate Sith going through the vents, or gathering little parts of the live stream with Aerith in the temple, and just little things, just dumb little things that just kept slowing down the progress of narrative and focus on and being in the moment. It's just like, wait a minute, here's a stupid side quest, got to do this first, and it just kind of took me out of it, and I couldn't really appreciate the story beats as much as I did in the original game. And I know they needed to expand on it to a little certain degree. And like I said, the part with Aerith, that's a good part that we should keep it and expand upon. But
so you don't like the stuff that they did for like filler purposes? Like,
basically, yeah. Compared to like say the filler in Remake, I think, but you're only like in Midgard for like what 3-4 hours in the original. So it made sense for them to like build upon these characters. So when that certain people do die, you feel a little something towards the death versus like, I guess that guy's dead. Oh well, I guess he's not gonna be in Final Fantasy VIII or whatever, So yeah, when they filled it out in the first game Remake, it made sense. But a lot of the filler in Rebirth, it just feels unnecessary. Instead of like someone at Square Enix is like, we must hit 100 hours, whatever it takes. Hit 100 hours in the main campaign, doing the main story stuff, and then most of the side quest stuff. And it just seemed like, but why? Is it ever fun? Is my question, because it feels like they forgot the fun factor in the video game.
I just remember something I kind of don't like about this game, or I feel like they need to tweak it some way, or I don't know, summons.
They're okay, but they're just okay.
I just like, for me, I feel like getting a new summon doesn't do anything.
Yeah, there's that too.
I feel like they could have, if you wanted to do like more filler stuff that we're talking about, you could have added something with the summon.
Right, yeah.
I feel like they needed to be more impactful in some way, whether they need to change the mechanic of how to use them or be able to equip more than one. Something like make them a one-time use, and then now it makes sense if you have more than one.
Right.
But I just feel like you get a new summon and it's like, is this summon better than this summon? Like, they're kind of hard to use because you summon them and then it's like, oh, now I don't have ATB to use.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So, or they could have done it like on Final Fantasy X where you become the summon. I don't know. Just for me, summons, I think they kind of dropped the ball a bit.
They're still focused on like the limit breaks and the partner moves.
Yeah.
One of them had to go, it felt like.
Yeah, something's off there.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it too much, but something's off because you run into a new region, you get a new summon, and I'm excited because they're cool, but it's like, do we use this?
And how good is your memory to remember X square triangle?
Oh, I was good at that.
Only the last one I felt like I was struggling on, but overall that was actually okay. But probably the harder of the more common open world mini games.
And the thing that I did not like, the whole Zack thing.
Well, I guess we'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, the basic thoughts, I agree. I agree on the whole Zack situation. I'm trying to think anything else before we get to the ending and the changes, the comparisons, of course. Yeah, I feel like you hit most of the plot points after you cross the sea. And really, it brought back the guy from the fucking Midgard, the Don whatever.
Don Cornelius?
Yeah, that guy. It's like, really? Do we need more of him?
Oh, well, actually, that does happen.
Does happen in the original?
Yeah.
I guess I totally forgot about that part.
Well, okay, remind me, how does he come out in this one?
Well, in the original, he shows it because he's like
no, on this one.
This one, well, he just shows up. Well, he shows up at the gold saucer, and he wants to take over the gold saucer.
Okay, I don't remember if he exactly does that in the original one.
But he does show up a second time.
But he does show up again. He shows up in Wutai.
That sounds vaguely more familiar to me.
Yeah, he shows up in Wutai, and that's when you finally get rid of him.
Okay, that I don't know why I'm saying, but you saying that, also my brain's going like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I was not too like, what the hell? Like this guy again? Like,
okay, here's the X. Do you go to Wutai before or after Sid in the original? Do you remember? Okay,
I don't remember.
I was asking myself because I'm thinking like, in my head, I thought we went to Wutai before we get to the big moment, if you will.
Yeah, I feel like almost Wutai is kind of like a.
We'll say that for the next
optional island, because I kind of remember going there before Temple of Ancients.
Right, that's what I thought. And it was just one of those like, am I losing my brain? Am I crazy?
And it's one of those things where like, I almost feel like you could even skip Wutai because I could be totally wrong, but this is kind of how I remember things being. I think it's after Sid because I think you need the little the airship
right
to get there.
I want to say agree.
And I think you can either go to Wutai, do the whole thing, or completely skip Wutai
and just go directly.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but
that seems possible.
Because I feel like Wutai is an optional island in the original, and because even if you show up without Yuffie, it's kind of like a different thing.
Right. Because don't you? Oh, I don't know what that looks like. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna Google that shit later on.
So yeah, it's
Don't you like level up and shit in Wutai?
Level up? Well, I mean, you would level up.
Well, everywhere. I guess so, but wasn't there like special training for each character in Wutai or something like that? Am I just making this up?
I think you're making it up. I think there is a tower you can do.
There's like some kind of battle tower,
and I think it's for Yuffie only.
Okay. But I remember there's like special training in Wutai. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I do remember some battle tower.
So yeah. Anything else you want to add before start talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I hate Kate Sith. That's still there. I guess here's a one. I guess that's it's kind of the ending, but a little bit before the ending. And I'm like I said, totally could be misremembering, but I always thought of the whole Kate Sith situation of that. No, he did betray you and just felt bad about it. I guess they forgive him and they kept going on the journey with him. But here in this version in Rebirth, it's more like, no, I was still part of the team. I just wanted to use the Turks and Shinra to do the dirty work for us. It sounded like he does a quick throw one-liner, which I'm like, it doesn't work for me.
I had these same questions because I'm like, how did it happen in the original? Because, okay, this is where I think where they changed it was not as good. Even though if you've played the original, it's fine. But I feel like for those that haven't played the original, they kind of ruined it.
Right.
Where they hinted or practically told you who is.
Yes, that's another big yes. Oh my goodness, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here.
Because I feel like it's cool in the original when you find out who Kasith is.
Right, it's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a person controlling.
Right, but that's all.
But you don't know who it is, and then this one's like, come on, don't practically tell us, like and
that's in general. A lot of the mysteries and Grant, I know it's a remake, if you will, of the original game that's 20 years old. But a lot of the mystery, because you got to imagine a lot of people, this is a 20-year-old remake of an old game. There's a lot of kids out there who's never played the original 7, and they kind of spoil a lot of things just like that, for example, where there's no mystery anymore, and like half of 7, it's all a fucking mystery. And half the mysteries are now gone because they assumed you played the original PS1 game, which is such a dumb way to think of it. It's 20 years old. People have had people who were, children, played the game, grew up, and now they have children, and they have no idea what the whole Final Fantasy 7 is.
I like the stuff they've been doing where we can tell that what it is, but not straight. Like if I know that if I hadn't played it, I wouldn't be able to tell what's going on.
Right.
So yeah, that's I totally see, and I would have done that different thing.
Yeah, just because for me as a narrative focused person, I just remember that was a lot of thing with 7. It's like, what's going on here? Who's this? Who's Cloud? What's a soldier? What's Shinra? Who's these Wu-Tai people? What's Sephiroth? Why is he showing up in and out?
You know what I'm looking forward to, and this is kind of spoilers to part 3. The part where Cloud remembers.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a whole thing we could get into.
And I'm hoping they execute it right.
Yeah.
Because right here it was like they were almost getting to them. Like, whoa, what are you doing?
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I was like, what? Whoa. If we do this now, then what? Let's call it a day. Let's wrap up this game. Let's kill Sephiroth and go home. What's the point? Half the fucking game was figuring out what the hell's going on here.
Forgot
about that part. Drove me insane. It's like, what do you mean you remember? Shut up, Cloud. You don't remember shit.
All right, so I think we're pretty much.
I think we're there. Okay, I think we're ready, Frank.
Here's what I would have done. I would have ended the game at the Temple of Ancients. Because of the way they did things, I would have ended it and made the dragon the final boss. I just feel like there's this whole thing where they need to make this grand ending, and they bring Sephiroth.
Bring your ass out here,
and let's fight him, and let's make a cool ending.
Right.
And I understand it to the point where, because you want.
He is the villain of the series.
You want every game to have like a proper ending, but I just feel like it's gonna dilute the real ending
exactly
by bringing him in so many. Like I understand it doing it once in the remake,
right?
Doing it again,
exactly.
It's just like I would have been fine just fighting the dragon. Like,
yeah, we don't need He's still bad. He's still doing bad things. We haven't forgot about this guy. You don't need him for every major fight. And then plus the other thing is his final form was just once again fucking Kingdom Hearts more. Can we say Kingdom? Fucking I didn't know Ansem was here. Hey, here's Ansem, everyone.
So it's cool fighting him, but it's just like I'm afraid it's diluting Sephiroth.
Exactly.
And or at least make it clear. But then is that a secret?
Like what, the whole Genovas things?
Okay, spoilers for anybody who doesn't want to know the future about Final Fantasy VII.
Pretty much, big spoilers.
Is it a secret that Sephiroth is not Sephiroth in this game? Because for me, like remembering,
right,
the original, I didn't know that every time Sephiroth came out, it wasn't really him. I didn't know it was just a clone.
I was confused by that as well in the originals until, I mean, it was one of those, like, after the fact, I went like, oh, that makes more sense. But in this version, I guess it's implied that it's not him. It's implied it's not him. Because they show so many times where he shows up, and they kill him, quotation marks, and all of a sudden it's not him, it's someone else.
Damn. He better be super strong, and
that's the problem.
He better be like ridiculously hard to kill because
as far as we know, he's just chilling still there in the basement or whatever you want to call that place.
These are some strong shadow clones.
Naruto never had the best. These are beyond Naruto's understanding of shadow clone jutsu.
Sephiroth is somewhere out in training for Sage Mode and just like sending clones like Sage Mode. Oh, another one? Sure. I got
plenty of shadow clones.
I got like 100 shadow clones training, and then I just gotta deplete one, and now
another one to go.
Everyone's gonna get the experience.
Believe it.
So
believe it, Cloud. I don't like it.
I mean, I don't want to say too much more about the future of Final Fantasy, but so yeah, I just feel like please don't dilute this really cool character.
Right, it's a big moment because you're chasing him. You're trying. Like I said, it's all in the original game. It's all a mystery. You don't know nothing, and here everything is like so implied and so on the nose, and maybe it doesn't flat out tell you, but if you're just paying attention a little, you kind of know what's happening, even if you don't have the context of the original game, which I feel is just like once again destroys the mystery.
Remind me what happens at the end of the temple in this one, because.
Because
did he want to steal it? Did he not?
Sephiroth still wants the black materia, just like how he basically wants it in the original game, and he's gonna get Cloud to go make him fetch for it, right?
Okay, who had the black materia, Cloud or Aerith? I don't know. Okay. Let me just talk.
Go for it. Let's talk it out, friend.
So I don't remember if Aerith had it or Cloud had it. I really should have watched this because it's been like a month or more.
I was gonna say, because you beat it this some time ago. I beat it this a lot more recently.
And they were like, Cloud and Aerith were struggling not to give it to
Sephiroth.
Mm-hmm. But was that a trick? Like, what would have happened if they would have given it to him?
It's hard because in this game, he gets it and doesn't get it. He gets it, he doesn't. They go back. It becomes like a cartoon with them baffling the black material around in Rebirth versus the original, where, hey, oh, here's the here's the black material. No, here you go, Sephiroth. It's yours, boss. And like that's that. And it's just like, thanks, Cloud sucker. There he goes.
It would have been cool if they would have like done it how the original did it. I don't know if you remember.
I vaguely remember.
So in the original, Cloud beats up Aerith.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, he like has her pinned down and like, like, you know, the FBI is gonna show up or something. Like it's bad. It's like
he's pulling a Sid.
Bad domestic violence.
Okay, that part I don't remember. I just remember him taking it and giving it to Sephiroth.
I would have been surprised if it would have done that because it would have been like,
that's not kosher anymore.
Kosher.
not okay at all.
But that would have been dope. Like,
I mean, it would have showed how possessed he is, right? Speaking about that slight tangent, in this game, it's so obvious that Cloud is being possessed or puppeted by Sephiroth, and everyone's just like, let's keep traveling with Cloud. No problems here. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, take him out of the party. He's insane. Because I feel, maybe I'm misremembering once again, but it feels like it's more of a surprise motherfucker. Oh, and you know, it was Cloud is under control. Just in the right time, Sephiroth shows up. Haha, he's my puppet. Haha, and he does it. But it's so obvious that he's not in control at all in this game.
I think in the original, it was more like he has a lot of headaches.
And
that's it.
Right.
In this one, his personality is like,
he literally changes and like the camera zones in and he starts slaying people that doesn't need to be slain. And of course, they put the blood on his face to implicate, look, he's violent and bad now.
Mm-hmm.
And it also a little too much on the nose, but. Yeah, it's just once again some of the mystery, some of the subtleties, and like I said, everyone's just like kosher. Once again, like it's okay. Hey Barrett, did you see Cloud kill that guy? Yeah, it's okay though. Let's keep going, Tifa. It's like what the no, let's not keep going. He's insane. He's obviously been possessed by Sephiroth. Throw him out of the party or do something to counteract it. Not just like it's fine. Cloud be Cloud, yo.
I just that was. I think I would have.
Throw him out of the party.
Not throw him out, but you know,
put him on the bed, put him in the sidelines.
Yeah,
something.
like
not being in charge of the group at least. Minimal of minimalists. Nah, it's fine though. He'll shake it off. Remember he tried to kill Tifa? Remember that part? Did we all forget that fucking part? I feel like we all forgot that part. Aye.
Yeah, I just feel like in order to set up 3, they did some things that didn't sit well for me on this one. And I just gotta say they better pay off part 3.
Man, shit. After this game, I don't know if I got a part 3 in me, to be honest. It fell off so hard for me in this game.
So now to the actual ending.
Right, the big moment.
I feel like they diluted that part in this game. First of all, it was a big mumbo jumbo.
There's a lot of that.
But I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't know if I feel like they're trying to keep mystery as to what's gonna happen, and they just made it like they made it seem that many things could be possible.
Right.
Like, is it gonna be another dimension? Is this dimension Ares gonna be okay? Did this actually happen, or are we seeing crazy Cloud's imagination? So it's like we don't know what happened, and the people that made the game want that.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Once again, Frank, this is why you're here, Frank. This is why you're here.
So, which is fine, I guess. But at the very least, I mean, if you want to keep the ending a mystery, what's going to happen, are we going to change things,
right,
a mystery, I feel like we could have still done that. What I would have done different is give me a story to see. Don't give me like, okay, this happens and then change the channel. This happens.
Right. This could
come back to this channel.
Oh my goodness gracious, Frank.
Because whether
get out of my head, Frank. Stop reading my mind.
Whether you show me Aerith dying or Aerith not dying, just show me something. It's just like, and then later on,
I should have picked you to go to Gold Saucer, Frank. I should have picked you.
And then later on, give me a hint that, you know, things are not what they seem. But don't like ruin one of the best moments.
My goodness gracious, Frank. My goodness gracious.
Don't ruin one of the best moments by making it all confusing. And it's like,
It's so true, Frank. Oh my, I don't think I could say much better than that.
Because if she's gonna die,
right,
I think this is such a big important scene. We deserved, like, unless they're gonna show us the scene again later.
Right.
It was such an important scene, like, because when you playing it the first time, you're like, hey,
yeah.
And it's like, what the? Did you just kill my favorite?
Right. Yeah, basically. Like, I mean, in this game alone, this is like the moment of the game, but it was the moment of the decade. If you lived through it, like, people kept talking about, like, oh, did you see an air?
Yeah.
Like, you would always see those, like, that cutscene and the follow-up cutscene everywhere you went if anyone talked about video games, because it was just that moment in video game history. And to see them, 20 years later, like, okay, what are you going to do with the scene? And the answer is, we're not sure. We're going to have it both ways, and you decide, and I'm a coward, and bounce. And they just took off.
It would have been even accepted, like, I don't know. What do you think about this? We have all this stuff that happens, and we skip it.
Right.
We skip it, and we come out, and we're not sure what happened. Like
right.
And then kind of make it vague, like, oh, Aerith, she's away for a bit. Like,
yeah, right, yeah. Then we're just, yeah, exactly, right.
Or like Cloud being paranoid, like, yeah, Aerith says she'll catch up.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And then people like going along with Cloud's thing because oh yeah,
just
he's crazy.
Just like Cloud was there 5 years ago.
Like, yes, Cloud.
Yes.
Right, Aerith will come.
We supported your terrible habits so far. How about another one?
That would have been like, wait, Aerith is missing. We didn't see what happened.
Right.
Cloud is saying he'll come back.
Right.
Everybody's going along with it, but they don't look like.
Right.
So that would have been kind of like.
That would have been better.
Or just
pick one. I don't care.
Pick one. Or seeing her die, and it's like, say she survives, like explaining later how she survives.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Yeah. That could possibly work.
Or seeing her live, but kind of like make it like the Sixth Sense kind of thing where I see dead people and it's like, oh yeah, she's been dead.
I mean, we basically got that.
Like,
we did get that.
Wouldn't it be cool? Like, she doesn't die and you go through the whole game thinking she's alive.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, I guess that's they're kind of trying to do that at the end of the day, where they're saying like, oh, she died, but having said that, she's not really dead, but she's pretty dead. which is just like, I don't care. Either she's alive or she's dead, because this weird in-between zone, it just doesn't work for me, because either she should be like, oh, Aerith died. Oh, no, not again. Or it should be like, Aerith lived? What the fuck? What do you mean Aerith lived? Aerith, she has to die. And like, well, if she could live, then what else could happen?
The way I interpreted it is that she's dead.
Right. Indeed.
But Cloud doesn't think she's dead.
Yeah, I guess it depends, right?
Because I think everyone else is acting like she's dead except Cloud.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's the kid from the Sixth Sense.
Basically.
What I would have liked for them to do somehow, and it would be hard because like you would go through the game as like, how come Aerith doesn't have any lines? Or
she's only talking to Cloud ever.
Yeah,
exactly. And that, like I said, I didn't think about your way, but that could work. That would be
funny and cool.
That would be something you have to really pay attention to. Be like, that is weird that she never talks to anyone else but just Cloud.
Or she talks to them and they just never.
Like, they don't respond to her, right?
They respond, but it's kind of like a neutral response.
Exactly.
Like, for example, like Tifa kills a monster. Good job, Tifa. And then Cloud goes, hey, like, nice work.
Right.
And she would go, thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
And look at Aerith and go, thanks. Like,
right.
But she's actually looking at Cloud.
Exactly. No, that could work. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Like, the whole time you're thinking Aerith survives and you're like happy.
Yeah, exactly. But the whole time. That could have worked. It would have been hard, but it could have worked.
You beat Shefroth, and then like Cloud does a comment like, we did it, Aerith, and then
everyone's like, what are you
and then
talking
Tifa's
about?
like, okay, Cloud, it's time to face the truth.
You're right.
That would be like, oh man.
Also, you're not a soldier.
Yeah.
Which is a whole thing. I guess we'll get in. But yeah, I didn't think about your idea, but I like your idea, Frank. You're selling it.
Well, it's not gonna happen now.
Right? No, sadly, we know that. I mean, well, in a weird way, but it also is gonna happen? ? Because it's like I said, they literally went for the middle, in which I hate the middle, where she died, but her spirit lives on, and she's gonna keep showing up in the game and talk to Cloud because Cloud could see dead people for some reason, and I'm just not a fan. Personally, if I had to choose, I think, considering what the game is going for, the only true answer is to keep her alive. Because if she's alive, then it makes you like, what the fuck? What do you mean she doesn't die? If she doesn't die, then what else could happen in this game, right? Because they want that vibe of mystery and, anything could happen in the multiverse and blah, 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 blah. So the only way to sell that is to keep her alive. If you kill her, you're like, well, so it's just 7 again.
I think what's going to happen is they're going to give us the hope that she can live. So...
Well, they're gonna somehow resurrect her or something dumb like that.
I think she's really gonna die.
Stay dead?
Yes, I think she's gonna die because, and this is me just listening to some of the notes of the people that made the game. It's her death is what makes 7.
Right, it's true.
So I think they're gonna tease us by giving us like, hey, we might get another Aerith from another dimension.
Right, which I guess that happened, by the way.
But I think they're gonna be like, you know what? That's not gonna work. She's dead. Like,
she has to stay dead.
Or we'll get her.
Gonna hijack her.
Kill this one too.
Kill this. Just a pile of Aeriths on the floor. Gotta catch them all.
It's gonna be the Steins Gate thing where he keeps going back and then she keeps dying a different way. Like,
yeah, literally every time different ways.
And then they're gonna realize like, oh shit, this has to happen.
Oh fuck. Can't break it unless you have to go. You have to go all the way back. Gotta go back to Nibelheim, all the beginning, Frank, to fix the problems. Gotta fix Steins Gate. You gotta get to Steins Gate is like the paradise where they both exist, if I remember the anime correctly.
So, I mean, what I actually think happened and will happen, I think they wanted to give us hope until the very end of the game.
Right.
That she survived.
Right.
I think that Aerith died, which is very weird the way they did things.
Exactly. That was the other part. If we're going to kill her, just kill her like we've seen her been killed for the last 20 years. What's the point of saving her, but then like you said, flashing and then, oh, never mind, she's dead.
I don't know if you've watched videos on this because I didn't notice these kind of things, but supposedly there's like 5 timelines.
There's multiple.
Which is kind of crazy to me. I thought we were just looking at 2.
No, it's more than that.
And I'm like, huh?
Which also I was like, oh, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like,
I hate
you're getting a little too complicated here.
Exactly.
So
because then where does it? Because it's to summarize, and I don't think you've ever played BioShock Infinite, have you, Frank?
No.
So that game deals with a similar thing where it's about the multiverse and different timelines and different events. If they were the opposite, what would happen, this and that. And I hated that game for that reason, because it was a cop-out for whatever situation they found themselves in. Don't worry, there's a multiverse we could just pull from, and we'll fix our current problem. And they just kept doing that. But like, the problem that it just shows to me as a writer, you either are too scared to make a decision, or you put yourself in a bad situation and you can't figure out how to fix itself. So then you're just gonna steal from this multiverse to get yourself out of this problem. And it's just lazy writing to me.
Here's what I'm hoping for. Remake gave me hope that Aerith might survive.
Right.
Because things will happen differently, and I swear I thought that was gonna be the end of the Whispers.
Yeah, oh my god, I hate the Whispers, by the way.
So that them coming back, I was like, wait, I thought they were gone. I thought
that was the whole point.
I thought from now on it's like no redos or no like I thought.
Yes.
I thought that was the
whole point,
the hidden meaning behind the Whispers. So this game, the way I see it is, yes, we have all these multiverses things. I feel like it was a way of hiding her death for a bit. I'm hoping. And then giving you a chance to do a Zelda and Link versus Ganondorf.
Right.
I'm hoping that that's the reason for the multiverse. Like, this Aerith came to help you fight Sephiroth and give you the material that works, because the one that Aerith has for some reason is like dead.
Which I didn't. Is that ever explained and I just missed it out?
I don't remember when it happened, but I do remember that it was a functioning material, and then something happened between 1 and 2.
Okay, so I'm not okay. That's what I kind of thought happened.
Something happened, and that
and
material,
all of a sudden it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And then he gets another one from another Aerith.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is why I hate the multiverse, because it's just, you think you're smart and clever, but you're just lazy writing. That's all. Multiverse. It's so anything could happen. You're just a lazy dumb fuck.
Hopefully they do away with that.
Oh god, I hope so.
Hopefully it's just a thing like, okay, we want Zack in this game, so we're gonna have a multiverse thing, and then we're gonna show a different perspective.
Right.
And you know what? The ending. You think that has any sort of impact on the ending? And I haven't even looked it up. Where your choices were like, when you go on a date with Aerith, it almost feels like it should have some sort of impact on.
Oh, you mean with the gold saucer, and then no? What do you mean?
When you're like dreaming, and Cloud and Aerith go on a date in.
Oh, in this game, no.
It's just
I don't know this for a fact, but I want to say no.
I wonder what the point is of choosing like the 3 different things. Just different dialogue.
Just different dialogue, and just to trick you that choice matters when it doesn't, which also is a thing I hate in video games. If you're gonna give me choice that matters. Choice that don't matters, that's not a choice. You're just wasting my time.
In one part, it kind of made me think like, oh, do I have to play this game and see what happens later?
Right, and I'm walking to 3 houses.
But not thinking about the choices, I kind of liked that part where that date becomes meaningful if she dies.
Yes, I agree with you. The problem also with that, though, is like, say someone like me who picked Tifa, it doesn't really work, though, right? If you're like, Tifa, and all of a sudden, oh, here's Aerith. I guess I want Aerith.
Yes. That is one thing I kind of mentioned it one of the earlier podcasts, I think, where I didn't think that Aerith was going to die in this game because they weren't focusing on her enough.
Right.
I felt like the story was about Tifa. The story was about anybody else but Aerith. Right. And then suddenly, once you get to the Temple of Ancients, it's like, oh shit, now I'm the main character. Like,
yeah, that's true.
So if you weren't gonna focus on Aerith, end it at the Temple of Ancients with the dragon.
Right.
If you're gonna end it with her dying, make us
really cash in on that fact.
Yeah.
Because then when she does that, you're like, oh fuck, again.
Yeah, like what they did with Biggs and Jesse and all that. Right. Have moments with them, like let me get closer.
True.
That's one of the things where I feel like they might have. Maybe they were trying to throw us off. Maybe they.
I guess that's what their goal is. Like, we got you. And I'm like, yeah, but at what cost? The story, you asshole. That wasn't worth it.
Yeah, the ending was a bit confusing.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like I said, if you're gonna kill her again, which I just want to do it because the whole point. If this is just a 1-for-1 remake, then that's totally fine. But this is definitely not that, because we got the whole Whispers and Sephiroth in the multiverse and blah, blah, blah. So clearly we're not doing copy and paste of 1-to-1 remake or, reimagining Final Fantasy VII World and now on PS5 graphics. So if that's the goal, once again, so keep her alive, because now we're on our tippy toes. Like, well, fuck, if she's just at the ending of the remake of like, oh, anything's possible. If she lives, then we're like, oh wow, shit, Zack's out here with anything is possible. But by killing her, once again, we killed that vibe, and so it's like, so we're just doing shittier 7 again. Well, I don't want shittier 7 again. I'll just have original 7, called it a day.
I don't know. See, it's hard to know what they're trying to do.
And that's the thing, is what's the third game going to be?
Because I think it would have been cool in this game if you can make choices and keep her alive.
Yes. Choices actually. Yeah.
Then for part 3, you do what you did in this game.
Right.
Let's say this game, we get rid of the whole Zack thing, and then you get to the ending and it's like, okay, you choose this, she lives. You choose this, she dies.
Right.
You get to see the scenes of when she dies or when she not dies. You get to part 3, now you play both stories. One when she lives, one when she dies. I think that would be more.
That would be better. They just pull a Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect. Let's do it.
And now, like, what's the real ending to part 2? Did she die? Did she not die? Because in part 3, they're giving me both stories.
Right. But that's the whole point, is that they're like, well, it's the multiverse. It's up to you to decide what happens.
For me, I would have only 2.
Yes, that's the other. Yes,
only 2. Like, which one's the real world? Like,
yes, exactly. And yeah, because the whole, if you're gonna jump worlds, you could do like 2 or 3, but after that, then what's the point, instead of just convenience and to make you look smarter than you actually are? Because like, you see Zack, and do you care about Zack?
I don't
at all. But like, they keep talking like it's Zack, and like, the guy who's dead in the beginning of 7, that guy, no one cares about this guy. He's worthless. He's dead. He's only discount, Cloud and Sora Kingdom Hearts guy.
I just don't like Zack because I see him as the other guy.
Exactly. Like, for the secret when you get to the original.
No, like
what's that? Oh, like the love interest?
Yeah, like
that's
like
also
for
true.
me, it's like
fuck that guy.
Like in real life, like if there's a girl I like, and then
there was a Zack in your life.
We keep talking about Zack, and I'm like, come on, I'm getting jealous now.
That is a good point. I thought about that a few times, but as you point out, yeah, that is like, because it's almost like a love triangle, kind of.
Yes. Like, I don't want to keep talking about Zack because, like,
fuck Zack, even who's my best friend? ?
I like you, Aris, and you keep bringing him up. Like,
he's dead. All right.
Please get over your ex. What are you doing to me? Like, this is hurting me. Like, and then you keep comparing me to him. Like, you was a soldier too. Like,
and what was the speaking about the multiverse thing? Is they spend all that time with flashing back to Zack in between chapters, if you will, and you find out that Biggs is still alive, which is like, oh, okay, that's kind of crazy, because, as far as you know, all 3 of them die in the original game, and even, I guess, it's only revealed at the very end of Remake that you found out he survives, and, well, one we know definitely died, and the other one probably is also dead, but it's not, I guess you don't see it 100%, quotation marks, but, like, what was the point of having him live for a couple more scenes just to kill him, ? Like, he had no purpose. Instead of being like, whoa, anything's possible. But if you're just still gonna kill him, then what's the point?
I felt that was weird because it almost felt like it was supposed to matter, all the stuff that was happening in the other world.
Exactly.
But then
you find out that's like the dead world, I guess. The worst timeline world.
Yeah, I mean,
somehow they're all dead, but Zack is alive.
This is how I saw it. Somehow you're living through another world where Zack exists, and
somehow everyone else dies, which just makes me wonder how did they get that far if Zack's still alive or vice versa.
The way I saw it was that at the end where Zack has 2 roads to go to.
Right.
One of them was you go this way, save Aerith. Go this way, you save Biggs.
Right.
And I'm guessing since
we saw both of those timelines or universes.
Since they were happy with a lot of stories at the same time, they might they might talk about when he went the other way.
Right.
So
I get, and plus the other thing is like the weird, because I'm trying to like understand Biggs' perspective, because like he's like a nothing character, but they're trying to do something with him, right? And as a Star Wars fan, I'm like, oh, I remember Biggs from Star Wars. Well, let's see what happens if Biggs survives the Star
Wars.
Biggs and Wedge are Star Wars characters' names.
Oh, really?
In the first Star Wars, Biggs is Luke Skywalker's best friend. He talks about. He shows up in the movie and dies trying to destroy the Death Star. and Wedge is the only other survivor of the Death Star run next to Luke Skywalker, and he shows up in the other movies. But they're very minor. Well, one's dead, but Wedge shows up in the other movies as smaller characters. But anyway, and like I said, they didn't do anything with him. His reaction is like, wow, we blew up the Sector 7, we fought against Shinra, and it was all pointless. And his after talking to Zack, he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab the bomb and go fight Shinra and destroy, like, you came to the same conclusion that you didn't learn anything. What was the point?
Or maybe they're trying to tell us
you can't fight fate?
Yes.
Oh my god, no way. Go fuck yourself. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. It wasted my time. It wasted my time.
It's the hint. I'm telling you, Aerith's not gonna make it.
There you go. Well, we know she's definitely not gonna make it.
I played this game. I was very excited about it because I felt it was gonna answer a lot of questions. Because more than likely we were gonna get to the part where we got to.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I called that. By the way.
Yeah, I remember.
Points for me.
Yeah. Turns out they went the cowardly way out.
Exactly.
Which is fine.
Is it though?
No, well, let me finish.
All right.
It's fine in the part where it's gonna hype up third ones.
Mm-hmm.
It should make it better, or at least they're trying to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fine in the part where it ruined a very good moment.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the very least, it could have been so good.
There so many choices. They had 20 years to think of what ifs, and this is their best choice they came up with.
It almost feels like they're just like, okay, we know we have to put this scene here, but we kind of want to leave the big reveal for the third one. So we're going to do this so that we can
push it off to the next game.
Kick the can down.
Yeah, down the street, down the way.
Yeah, So that's what they did, and it kind of sucks because it doesn't answer any questions. Like, if anything, now that we play this game, I have more questions.
Exactly.
Which is not good. Because
no, I would argue definitely not.
We wanted more questions, but we needed the certain questions answered.
Exactly.
And then have new questions.
In which the original does do.
So I still enjoy the game a lot. Like, they did a lot of nice things. The music, the gameplay was not the best, but it was enjoyable enough. The story, it was decent. It's just I know that because I played the first one, I had this standard and this blueprint of expectations, which I'm not so sure how much I feel about them mixing it up.
Mm-hmm, right.
So I would give it a 7.
7.
I was 7 because I would take 1 point away because of the gameplay wasn't. I would say it's inferior to remake.
Mm-hmm.
I would take another point for the ending and story purposes, and another point just what the heck.
What the heck? Why not? You deserve it.
Something else, just like so. Yeah, it's just I just feel like it could have been much nicer.
Could have been better.
Are they not sure what they want to do?
They are not.
Or
it screams they have no confidence.
Or is this their way of?
All part of the master plan.
Is this their way of trying to trick us or trying to like keep us in the dark? Like, cause like what I said earlier, if you're not gonna kill her anyways, and then just surprise us later,
right? Do something with it.
And if you're gonna kill her, don't kill her, and then surprise us later with her dead.
Exactly.
But just give us one.
Pick a lane.
Yeah, just do something, and then have a scene that kind of gives us hope. Like, imagine she dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go through the whole game, her dead. Or imagine she doesn't die, and we go through the whole game, her not dying. And then we have the ending, and we have the Marvel post-credit scene.
Right.
And then you just see a portal opening, and it just Avis comes out.
There you go.
And then you see the team walking off in the distance. She's like, wait, guys.
There you go.
That would be cool.
Could work. It'd be better than what we got so far. I'll tell you that, Frank. To me, you have two choices. You have two things to do with if we're doing multiverse stories, you have two ways to handle this kind of stuff. You have like the good and the bad timeline where the character reflects and looks like, oh, the what if scenario, and like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And they reflect on themselves and they feel like this kind of guilt and this and that. And they're trying to change the timeline, right? So that's like the main focus when it comes to multiverse. Or 2, you do something like that where you're back and forth, and like it's just like the multiverse of madness, if you will. And it keeps the characters and you on your toes and this and that, like Have you ReZero, Frank? Have you seen ReZero?
No.
Oh, ReZero kind of deals with something like that. Good show.
So, would you prefer this multiverse things to keep going on, or would you prefer if this multiverse thing keeps going on, but it's not really a multiverse? It's just Cloud being crazy.
That's all in his head.
It's all in his head. That's where I'm leaning.
If I have to choose, I guess I'm leaning towards that, despite I don't like that one much better, but I guess I like it ever so slightly more.
Yeah, because imagine Cloud thinking there's hope to save Aerith, and it's just him.
He's just still in that wheelchair.
Yeah, and Zack is alive too, of course. Like,
okay, why not? He's alive. Everyone's fine.
Aerith helped me beat up Sheriff, and everybody's like, yeah, sure, Bob.
Sure. All right, Cloud. All right.
So, I mean, to me, that would be beautiful if he's just crazy and he's like thinking like he's gonna save Aerith.
He's still in that truck with Zack waiting. Just wakes up. Wake up, Cloud. We're almost there. Nibelheim.
Or they could.
God, that's so dumb. At the same time,
they could make us think that she's gonna make it. And you know how when Cloud goes crazy in the first one, like I think he falls into the live stream.
Yes.
And then that whole thing happens.
Right.
And so up until then, when we figure out like, oh no, she really is dead. Like
right.
So I don't know. I have no idea what they're gonna do.
Anything else? Like I said, almost anything else, I would have been more happier with.
I just hope that Zack stops coming out.
Yeah, I don't need Zack. He doesn't do nothing for me on multiple levels.
I don't need that competition.
Exactly. We don't need the competition. He doesn't do. He's just Cloud again.
I don't care how wonderful your boyfriend was. I don't want to see him.
He's an ex-boyfriend.
I don't care.
He's gonna stay ex-boyfriend.
He's paying child support, but I don't need to see him. Like.
He takes the kids, he picks them on Sunday, and then he gets the fuck out of the house.
I feel like we agree a lot on this game.
I'm surprised. For once, I think we agreed a lot on this game, Frank. I would say I'm a little bit more harsher because pick a lane. I don't care a lane, pick a fucking lane. So I don't like that. And then two, just like I said, the pacing, because like the first half of the game is like okay, it's like stomachable, like it's a little filler, but you know, I'm okay with a little filler. I grew with Dragon Ball Z back in the day, so I don't mind a little filler. But I feel like after, almost like ironically, or maybe not ironically, coincidentally, after we talk about, or last time on the podcast we talked about the Costa del Sol, and you get to, you know, Barrett's town and everything afterwards, it just seems like the pacing just really just comes to a standstill and dies, and just a lot of like Cloud, we need to go to the Gold Saucer, but first we need to do these activities at the Gold Saucer. Oh, Cloud, we need to get to the mansion. Oh, if only we had a key to the mansion. Like, just these dumb little fetch quests that, like, I just don't want to do. Just let me go into the mansion, let me bump into Vincent, and let's get the fuck out of here, all right? Let's call it a day. I don't need to do dumb little activities that don't matter shit. I'm already 60 hours plus into this game. We don't need to spend 20 more hours doing stupid filler shit, all right? The game is long enough. You got my money, Square Enix, and guess what? I'm going to buy the next fucking game, so let's just move the fuck along, shall we? Please.
Well, yeah, I personally enjoyed all the extra stuff, but that for me, that's just like a one-time thing. I don't want to do it every time.
Yo, no.
So
hell no.
When I played it again, I'm just gonna skip everything and do the story and focus on that. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to Cloud, and then this is spoilers again for part 3. I'm really looking forward to Cloud stabbing Sheriff.
That'll be fun.
Because that moment in the game, the way they orchestrated it.
Oh, the first time.
The first.
Or which part are we talking about? In Nibelheim?
In Nibelheim.
Gotcha.
You know, and this is spoilers again for.
I was gonna say, huge spoilers. I guess they didn't. They imply it, but they don't show it or talk about it
This
here.
is how I remember it in the original. First, Cloud thinks he did what he tells us he did.
Right.
Tifa saying bullshit.
Basically, he calls him out.
She's right.
True.
But
he was there.
But he was there, and he did do what he said he did.
Yes.
And that when he does that thing that he said he did, that moment was so cool. Like
right.
The way the music cued in.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do something like that.
Yes.
And then that moment I hope they really do really good work with the weapons.
Right.
Because they didn't show any weapons. Like
yeah,
those weapons they show, those are like baby weapons. Like,
yeah, pretty much. They've yet to really get to the real ones. Yeah.
We need
these are toys right now.
We need Godzilla here.
Exactly.
But
Speaking about that, did you catch that in the flashback, by the way.
Hmm.
In the beginning of Rebirth, they have the tease of what really happened. It's very subtle, though.
Okay, can you tell me?
She'll tell you. When Cloud is telling the flashback, he's talking about he's in the truck with Sephiroth and the boys waiting to get to Nibelheim, and he's stretching out his legs, and then he asks the one guy next to him, "Oh, I'm sorry, you feel your car sick." And did you notice the response or the voice?
No.
It's Cloud.
Oh, really?
It's Cloud. It's the same voice actor who responds back to Cloud.
Oh.
So spoilers for what really happened in Nibelheim all those years ago.
Oh, I didn't know it was the same voice, but I knew it was him.
Well, yeah, because you know.
Yeah,
but like that's a little. It's a little evidence, a little for those who don't know. Huh? Wait, that sure sounds like Cloud that just talked. But how can Cloud be here and here?
So yeah,
I just thought that was a nice little touch, but I wish there was more of that.
I thought you were gonna tell me about the posters on Tifa's room. The Ruby and Emerald weapon posters.
I don't think I see that. No.
So you go to her room and she has 2 posters. And they're like touristic spots. And one of them says Ruby Red. And I forgot what they're advertising. And the landscape of the poster, you can see it's Ruby weapon.
Oh.
And then the other one is like Emerald something.
Right.
And at first I thought only the Ruby I thought only one of them you could see, but then you see it and it's like the Ruby Red has the hands, and the Emerald one, it's like the mountains make the body, and then it yeah, that's I was like,
all right, no, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, just go to her room and you'll see.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I said, the first half of the game I was into it. Second half, not as much, but it's fine. I guess had I known they were gonna be indecisive, if they would have been, I would have waited for a sale and then picked up this game. I'd say. But it's still overall good. The for people who are really narrative focused story people like myself, just pick up the PS1 original. I think it's a lot, and plus that's a lot. Like it's fun. I'm the way I describe it is it's like, oh, the PS1 original is like such an easy understanding. No, that thing is all over the goddamn place, and every time you think you understand, it's like, no, fuck you didn't understand nothing. It just keeps lying to your face, and then, but at least it tells you eventually what's really happening, what's going on, and blah 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 blah. Well, in this game, it just they don't know what they want to do, and they don't want to make any promises because maybe it sure feels like they don't know what they want to do in the next game either. So they're going to leave everything up to chance and up in the air and make you decide what's happening and not happening, which, like I said, just seems like a weakness on the writer's side.
I think that there's one writer that wants Aerith alive and all the other ones want
I also believe. That I would believe.
I wish it was it gave me more of an incentive to use certain characters. I feel like there's no real reason to be switching characters.
True.
And it's almost like there's a definite best team, and not either make it where every character has its own unique thing, or make it that I can get through the game with any party setup.
Right.
And I feel like they're not unique enough.
Right.
And there are certain parts where like you're not gonna get through it if you use Barrette and Red 13.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Red 13 in the air, you're fucked.
Yeah, so it's like there are certain times that I didn't want to use Tifa, I didn't want to use Aerith,
right? But
I kind of had to because they're so good.
They are the easy go-to team early on.
And then the other thing is like, can I switch out Cloud?
Yes, that's also that still did not get any better.
Do we really need to see him like scan the things? Can we just have someone else scan it and
too much time.
Too much Cloud.
Too much Cloud. More Cloud. Your favorite Cloud, Mr.
But yeah, I mean,
full of personality.
Despite the ending that was a bit confusing.
That too.
Other than that, I like the whole story. So yeah, I mean, I think I will not be picking a game this long.
That's out home. I'm telling you that it will not happen again on this podcast, Frank. I guarantee it. It will. It just can't.
Not doing another 100-hour game, maybe a 99-hour game, but
yeah, something we gotta. I think 60 hours is the max we're doing on the podcast, Frank. Because it's almost like I almost want to go back and listen to the episodes because we did do Tears of the Kingdom, which I want to say I spent probably the same amount of time, but I don't remember being as frustrating as going through all that. And maybe we gave ourselves more time for the Tears of the Kingdom, or maybe just in all our lives we had a little bit more free time so we could all just tackle that game.
I think I remember when did Tears of the Kingdom come out? Last year?
Last May, June? Because I want to say we tackled it most of the summer, and then at the end of...
I think we got lucky. I don't know what happened with you, but I remember with... Who was it? Andy? I remember he said something like, oh, I just happened not to be working at this time.
Oh, yes, yeah. For Andy, yeah, that was perfect, because he was in between jobs at the time, and he literally knocked out the game, and then as soon as he finished the game, he found a new job.
And then me, it was like, well, I always play. And then, I don't know. And then you, I don't know why you had time.
Yeah, I'm just one of those.
You just enjoyed it and played it.
I guess I wasn't remodeling as much, is my best answer to that question.
Oh, okay.
Because last year I took a bit of a break and said, like, I needed, well, for one, I couldn't afford any more remodeling, so I had to finish paying the bills. But then this year I picked it up again, so I guess that also would slow me down.
Yeah,
so
but for some reason, everybody had time and we played it.
Yeah, it all worked out because we all played it in the same amount of time, and the scheduling always worked out. But it seems like in this Rebirth, it felt like a slog. It felt like everyone was busy. It felt like we had no time for it. But it's just kind of impressive. Like, what happened? Like how did this happen but not that?
I chose this because of like the new hot thing.
It was the new hot thing.
And
that's true.
I'm like, I'm gonna play it anyway, so it's not gonna be.
Which is true. I was gonna play it.
But
I would have took me all summer to play it.
How do you say it in hindsight? I think I should have elected Octopath Traveler 2.
If it's less than 100 hours, I agree with you, Frank.
For sure.
Then I agree with you, Frank. Sure. Hands down.
It's just that one of the reasons I didn't want to pick Octopath Traveler 2, I was scared.
Scared?
I was scared of hearing everybody's opinion. Like,
let me tell you a game. Frank, this game video is the worst video game I've ever saw.
Yeah, because Octopath Traveler 2 for me was the game of the year last year.
It should have been 1, and no, it should have been 0, Frank. That's how many travels it should have been. 0 travelers,
and
no paths.
On the off chance that I'm overlooking something or I didn't notice something that would have ruined the game for me, I don't want to know. Like,
did you notice in this scene, Frank? He said this when he should have said that. Ruined everything.
But I just think it was a very nice and executed game. I still hope you play it.
It's on the list, but
I'm
oh
just
my goodness,
scared. I'm scared. I'm scared of you playing it too. I just like play it, and if you like it, tell me. And if you don't like it,
just keep it to yourself.
If you don't like it, just let me think you've never played it.
What's that? I've never heard of that. What's that on? Is that on the NES?
And I kind of want to buy it again on the.
Buy it again?
Yeah, I want to buy it again on the PlayStation because I want to play it again, and I want to have a goal of doing trophies.
Oh, okay, trophies.
Because right now, I know.
Are you a trophy person, Frank?
I am, but I also buy games on the Switch because I avoid trophies.
So you're a trophy person, but you avoid trophies.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm glad we made sense out of here. And is Aerith alive or dead? Real quick.
She's alive in our hearts.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, so let me explain that.
All right.
If there's a game and I'm playing it and I see it has trophies, I'm gonna try to do them.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing myself that I like to do that, if there's a game that I can buy with trophies or without trophies, I buy it without trophies to spare myself the suffering of like, because right now I'm like, I don't feel obligated to do the trophies.
Right, because there's no trophies involved. So you can take your time and not have to sweat every little thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That surprised me more sense than I thought you were going to get, but I'm happy. I can understand with that choice at least. I have never been... The only time I could think of where I went, like, I'm going to get all the trophies, I'm going to platinum this thing, was when Persona 5 Royal, when Royal came out. I made the intention to get everything, and I did do everything.
I used to think it used to be a problem for me.
I could imagine. It sounds like it can be for a lot of people.
But now, I only worry about trophies on games I love. Like,
you really want to do it.
Yeah, like this one.
I have
like
no
Rebirth.
interest.
Rebirth.
Are you going for Rebirth?
Yeah. I'm trying to get trophies.
Should have bought on the Switch, Frank.
Yeah.
Coming out soon. Switch 2, Frank, just for you.
I'm surprised we talked so much about.
We did spend 100-ish hours at least.
I was worried that I wouldn't have much to say because it's been so long.
It's been a minute for you. It's fresh in my memory. I'm surprised I wasn't. I was pretty negative about it, but there was a couple positive things, and a lot of the. I do feel better. A lot of my negative comments you also agreed with. So it's not just me being the grumpy old man, which sometimes it sure feels like it's just me being a grumpy old man on my front yard cursing at the children. So at least I'm not. At least you got the rocking chair next to me, Frank.
I feel like I'm fair at judging things. Like I know it doesn't seem like it a lot of times. Where
I was gonna say, Blue. Remember what was it? Was it Galaxy Next Door?
Watching paint dry,
blue screens of death. That seemed fair.
They were going for a line and they drew a circle. I mean, it's just
they just wanted a mother, Frank. They just wanted a mother.
I just think that I mean, when something's bad, when something is not good, fine to say it's not good. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, this is the best thing ever.
It is the best thing ever, Frank. Defend yourself.
It's just not.
Fight.
I just like there's nothing wrong with saying that something failed.
No, and I also agree. It seemed. I mean, it's to me like I always like having the discussions of someone really likes something and someone really doesn't like something because it's you somewhere in the middle is the truth. Right? I always feel like that, and it's okay just because everything is personal and different, and you should. It's not to me. It's less interesting if everyone agrees on every single thing every single time because it just kind of boring.
Yeah, I watch a lot of videos on this game, and they're like.
That was the thing. I heard nothing like when this game came out. It was all 9s and 10s. I'm like, I feel like at best this game's like a 7 for me.
More 7, like I think is good. 7 is a good score.
Yeah, that's the other thing is now these days we have a warped possession of what's good and like everyone feels it has to be 8 or higher, and anything that's worse than an 8 is just garbage.
I still think people should play this game. Like
yes, indeed.
I played part remake first, but
yeah, well, yeah, I'm gonna be a little confused.
Or actually play the original first.
And I was gonna say you might actually want to start with the original just so you could actually have a decent comparison.
So I still think people should play it. It's a bit hard, I would say, like the fighting.
It's a lot.
So yeah.
You gotta be prepared for that. But yeah, it's a good game. Like I said, pick it up on sale. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. I think that's it. That does it
conquered.
For our full review, final review.
We did a hell of a job. It was just you and me, Frank, but as always, we carry the heavy load around here, Frank.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for the next game.
Oh, I'm ready. Give me a few years and maybe I'm ready.
Oh, I just meant like the next game I'm
going. Oh, okay, the next game. Oh yeah, okay.
But I'm also ready for Rebirth 3.
Oh yeah, well, okay, well that I believe, Frank. That I believe. I don't. I should probably finish the Phoenix Wright game I started forever ago, and I just kind of fell off of it because those characters in the story also kind of made me fall asleep. But maybe it'll get good. If not, there's the Apollo Justice trilogy that is way better that I could get into. So maybe something. I have plenty of games to play. If anything, it's more daunting which one to play first.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Exactly.
We'll see.
Hopefully, stay tuned. I'm sure there's something more. One Piece. Feels like there's always gonna be one more piece talk, Frank. One day I'll conquer the One Piece. Maybe.
You know, I heard it might end in January.
Whoa.
I feel like it's a bit too soon.
I was gonna say, does that seem possible to you? Because I imagine you're caught up now.
It's possible, but I don't think he will do that. Any final thoughts before I close the deal?
No, that's I said my piece, Final Fantasy. Once again, you can check out me. I'm on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays in the evenings. Link down below if you're listening to the podcast. Hades will be my next victim on there. I am slowly working on a new YouTube video, but that is most likely more like July-ish. So stay tuned if you want to see more and hear my ugly voice and see me suck at video games. You can find me out everywhere. And yeah, nothing on the calendar for the podcast just yet. Instead of we have our full reviews, but that's once again going to be the end of June, early July. Perhaps might have a delay because Frank, I believe, will be out of town for a minute or two during the summer, so we'll figure that out. But it will happen, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think that's all the plugging that I can hype up for more of what we do here on the podcast and other places on the internet. But yes, I've done my job, Frank.
All right, well, that does it for this episode of Taco Otaku, and hopefully I don't host again soon. This is too much talking for me. All right, then. This was Frank as the host, and goodbye. And Ray, do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.